No amount of technical difficulties will stop us from having some fun here at the ballpark tonight. It's the Cincinnati Bearcats and the Arizona State Sun Devils here in Game 2 of a 3-game series. Cincinnati took last night's contest 11-7 in a comeback fashion and an exciting ball game. Joined alongside Casey Stevens and Eric Gonzalez, I'm Ethan Herzog. And guys, what a game last night it was for the Bearcats to find a way to rally back and get that first win in the series.
Oh yeah, last night, coming back from a 6-2 deficit, 8 runs in the final 3 innings. Tommy O'Connor, 2 for 4, 3 RBIs. Carrington Cross, 2 hits, 2 RBIs. Jack Natili with the go-ahead run after a hit by pitch. Just absolutely outstanding performance for that. Arizona State actually came into that game tied for 3rd in the Big 12. That loss dropped them down to 4th. This really sets the stage for UC's comeback throughout this season in the Big 12 standings, starting off with that win in Duke, then going into kind of a rough patch to start the end of the regular preseason and the start of the conference play, get with UCSD and UNLV losses, but came back now winning 7 of the last 9 games, including a sweep at UCF and the series win against Texas Tech. That's going to set us up for the rest of the season. Can we continue that trend?
Casey Stevens, I will get back to you after this. We're going to step aside and listen to the national anthem here at UC Baseball Stadium coming up. Back to UC Baseball Stadium we go, and Casey, we're looking at 2 very, very talented pitchers here tonight. Kellen O'Connor, who pitched not a perfect game, a complete game for Cincinnati last time he appeared last Saturday against Texas Tech. Actually on Sunday is the whole rain and weather and things because baseball's outside. And then Jack Martinez for Arizona State, who has one of the top 15 best ERAs in the Big 12. How's this matchup going to shake up between these two?
Well, you have to look at it. Which pitcher is going to make the biggest difference? It comes down to being able to get in the head of the batter and know the right pitch. Are you going to come out hot and go with your fastball, which is what both of these pitchers rely on heavily to get your strikeouts, or are you going to go with your off-speed pitches and assume that the batter is going to think that you're going straight down the middle and you get a swing and right down? But both teams have the depth too. If your starting pitcher isn't the best, Cincinnati has consistently gone maybe 3 to 4 innings before they rely on their next pitcher. And for Arizona State, their depth is deeper than Cincinnati, having just a few pitchers come in and even just pitch 1 out to end that inning.
Now, Eric, we'll jump back to you here and look at the offenses for both these teams. We saw the sparks fly between Cincinnati and Arizona State, especially late in the game for Cincinnati, coming and scoring at least 4 runs in the 7th inning and 8th inning, respectively. What is this going to look like here today?
Well, it's going to be really about who can get the most runs early, who can set the tone. That's what's going to be big for this. Arizona State yesterday gave up 10 walks. And you're going to have to be able to, if you're Cincinnati, take advantage of that and find a way to exploit that early. The strength for UC has been just patience. When they are patient and they can get on base, they're successful. They laid down good bunts against Duke early in the season. They've had good hitting. getting on base, and when you can get guys on base and get them home and not leave them stranded, that's what's going to matter. Last night, though, the defense for Cincinnati gave up 3 errors, but you're going to have to be consistent on that. If you can stop Arizona State from having the opportunity to get momentum, that's going to help you too. Bullpen depth, again, like you mentioned, is going to be important. Cincinnati is going to have to find a way to pitch their way to a win today, because if you let Arizona State get hits, it's going to hurt you.
Now we'll take a look at the starting lines for both these teams, starting with Willie Bloomquist and the visiting Arizona State Sun Devils. Batting first at second base is Kyle Walker. Batting second in left field is Landon Hairston. Batting third is shortstop Matt King. Batting fourth, the first baseman Jacob Tobias. Batting fifth, the designated hitter Brandon Compton. Batting sixth at third base is New Contreras. Batting seventh in center field, Isaiah Jackson. Batting eighth in right field is Kian Vu. Batting ninth, the catcher Josiah Cromwick. And the pitcher starting on the mound for the Arizona State Sun Devils is Jack Martinez. 3-2 on the year with a 4.76 ERA. On the other side for Jordan Bischel, his second year as the head coach of the Cincinnati Bearcats, his starting 9 in order. Batting number one, the third baseman, number 2, Carrington Cross. Batting second and center is Donovan Ford. Batting third, the right fielder, Landon Vitterick. Batting fourth, the catcher, Jack Natilli. Batting fifth, the left fielder, Christian Mitchell. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, Cal Sefcik. Batting seventh, the second baseman, number 8, Loudon Brooks. Batting eighth, the first baseman, number 44, Tommy O'Connor. Batting ninth, the shortstop, number 19, Charlie Niehaus. And on the mound for Cincinnati, Kellen O'Connor. Now, something that I feel like we haven't seen very much of, and you two are freshmen, correct? Yes, well, before I assume anything. Sophomore freshman. But Christian Mitchell, who you may know is a two-way player, we haven't seen much of him pitching this year. He's been a force in the outfield and has made tremendous plays, especially hitting. But what are we going to have to see Christian Mitchell come back out on the mound and put some batters away?
I think it's going to come down to the pitching overall, like you said. If you're a two-way player, you have to be able to hit well. And if you're not hitting well, then if you're Jordan Bischel, I might just throw you on the mound, get you back in your groove, find your momentum, and help Cincinnati to a win. And Cincinnati does start off slow. Throughout the season, they kind of give up a few runs. They don't find their momentum. They don't find their groove yet. But when they find it, like last night, 8 runs in 2 innings, able to have a comeback win and really set the tone for this series. And that's what it's going to be today. Is Cincinnati going to ride that momentum into the second game, or is Arizona State going to be able to stop it?
Exciting game on deck here today from UC Baseball Stadium. Again, Casey Stevens, Eric Gonzalez, Ethan Herzog here with you. In the student section, we have been moved from our normal spot and are now sitting in harm's way. Our chances of getting hit by a foul ball have increased drastically from 0% to about 65%, if I'm being fair. If anything's hit down the first base line, it has at least a decent chance for us to make a play. So, banana ball rules, anybody? Catch a foul ball, get him out?
I would assume so. I'm surprised you didn't bring your own glove.
I should have. I haven't had a confession here. I haven't had a baseball glove since I was about 9. So there's that. I was a football and soccer guy, and I bowled for 4 years in high school. But here we are.
You know, I missed the text that said that we were going to be on earlier, and I should have looked, because I would have brought my glove had I known that we were going to be possibly getting attacked.
I think next game we'll be sitting out in the outfield right at the batter's eye so we can get a perfect look at everything. As we shift around here at UC Baseball Stadium. A nice and lovely day here for some baseball in the Queen City. Taking a look at the weather forecast for today. It's in the mid to high 50s, about going to crest 60 as time goes on. Mostly cloudy with some northwestern winds moving about 8 miles an hour. Yesterday it was a little bit cold. The ball didn't really fly. It was a bit of a pitcher's duel when it came down to it. Not many bombs. We might see a little bit more today.
Absolutely, and what Eric mentioned earlier, 10 walks from Arizona State. Cincinnati, while it may be a little warmer, if you can get in the head of the pitcher and just assume that they may come out with the same attack that they did yesterday, you may be able to get on base and attack early. Cincinnati, one of the top teams in stolen bases all season too. compared to Arizona State, Cincinnati has 10 more stolen bases, and you're looking for your speedsters. Donovan Ford, who's normally batting 8th throughout the entire season, moved up to 2nd position today, and he's one of those dominant forces on the bags. If he can get on first, either walked or by a single, he's going to be hard to stop.
And I think that's exactly why Jordan Bischel moved him up to that 2-hole in the batting orders, because he can lay down the bunt, but he's also insanely quick.
You know, another important fact, Cincinnati is 12-2 at home this season, 30-10 with Jordan Bischel. That is going to be another key. Can this student section hype up this team, and can they impact the game on offense? As well as on defense, can we get into the head of their pitcher?
And, I mean, the student section addition this year, I talked about it on the lone ESPN broadcast I did earlier this year, that, I mean, it was a direct, I will say, I feel like it's a direct result of Kansas having their student section going somewhat viral on the interwebs. But nonetheless, a great addition for a city that lives and breathes baseball. The Reds also played tonight. They're in Game 2 against Pittsburgh. They took the first game of that series 5-3, so both Cincinnati baseball teams winning. Not so much for the Reds in dramatic fashion, but the Bearcats kind of proving the Cardiac Cats are still a thing here on the diamond and sticking in their winning ways.
You mentioned that Cincinnati is a baseball city. When baseball is doing well, this city is doing well, and that's what the Bearcats hope to do today.
And hey, my mental health is doing pretty well too. My teams are winning, but you know, there's that too.
Hey, you know what? I like seeing a C-Paul win.
Oh yeah, and I think Cincinnati sports overall, especially baseball, when it gets warmer, that's where the fans come out. And Cincinnati relies on fan engagement overall for their teams to move forward. If you look at basketball, that crowd sold out almost every single home game. Cincinnati baseball, the crowd's starting to fill in. It's getting a little warmer, and it's going to bring that energy that Cincinnati is going to need right for this game.
Sweatshirt might have to come off here, and I'd put it back on because it got cloudy and windy, and now it's a little warm, a little toasty out here. And here we go, time to play ball. Here from the Queen City, Kyle Walker digs in, leading off for the Arizona State Sun Devils. That's a .346 on the year. Facing off against Kellen O'Connor. 3.98 ERA. Pitches .235 to the leadoff man. Two-one count for the leadoff man, Kyle Walker. Connor winds and deals, swing and a drive foul. Kind of bloops its way down the first base side, evens the count at 2. All things considered, a good start for the Division II transfer in Kellen O'Connor. It's the Grambling State transfer. Kyle Walker tries to get on base. Pitch on the way, pop foul. Back behind home plate. Kyle Walker, not a stranger to big settings, was in the 2024 MLB Draft Combine last season. Connor winds and fires. Swung on and tipped foul into the ASU dugout.
And if you're Walker, you're just continuing to attack at this at-bat. You can see that he's swinging for the fences here, making a lot of contact on just the first few pitches. 2-2 count, though, and he's still staying alive. It's been about 8 pitches so far for Cincinnati.
The thing about Arizona State is that they get a lot of their work done in the first inning. Pitch on the way. Swing right back to Kellen O'Connor. Tries to barehand it. Coming up is Loudon Brooks. Makes the throw, not in time. It's the leadoff man aboard in Kyle Walker. Brings up number 2 man and Landon Hairston. That's .333 on the year. Almost had a good play as it was hit right back to Kellen O'Connor. Just couldn't quite get the bare hand to fall on the loose baseball. So here comes the freshman infielder. First pitch swinging, lined over to Charlie Niehaus, and he can't pick it up. Had a chance for a double play, but it's going to be Hairston's first, standing at first safe. And that's 2 aboard The first two aboard at that.
Just not able to get his glove on it for Niehaus, as the ball just went right under it. Right under his glove, just pit stop right by the bag, and just able to allow the runner to advance to second. And now Cincinnati is in a little bit of trouble here with runners on first and second.
Hairston advances on an error officially scored. His first pitch taking strike one to Matt King.
And you know, that's what we mentioned at the start of this game, is you got to make sure you keep those errors under control so that you don't let them get into this position. Right now the goal is to stop them from scoring.
Bearcats last night, 3 errors. Second pitch in the dirt. Runners will advance as it gets away from Natilli. And Arizona State, like I mentioned before, they get their work done in the top of the first inning, especially when they're on the road. Don't have the best road record. They're 6-5, but when they can get the gears turning, it's going to result in a win.
And if they can continue this momentum in the attack that they already have and the miscues that Cincinnati's defense
Pitch on the way and goes outside, ball 2.
continues to have with errors in the last game with 3 and 1 already, it looks like Arizona may walk away with just a few runs scored in the first inning.
Had 4 scored in the top of the first inning last night. Game 1, pitch on the way, tip foul. Evens the count at 2. Runners on third and second. Walker at third, Hairston at second base. Matt King up to bat. 2-2 count, no outs for Kellen O'Connor and the Bearcats. Still tied 0-0 here, top of the first inning here in Cincinnati. O'Connor takes a breath, winds and deals. Swung on and driven deep into the gap. It's going to be a base hit. That'll score at least 2 runners. Here comes Walker and Hairston. They're safe at home, and Walker has himself a double. Or excuse me, Matt King has himself a double. And just like that, we talked about it. And Arizona State quickly finding their groove and knocking in 2 more runners home.
And Matt King, the senior, able to make that veteran move, knowing how to get players around the bases, and he thought it was just going to be single. He looked right before he grounded first and made sure that he had a bit of extra speed to reach second and get that extra base hit.
Goes as Matt King's 11th double of the year, transfer from UTSA. So here comes Tobias up to bat for the first time today, average of .331. First pitch and second pitch swinging, hit all the way to Loudon Brooks. Throw to first in time for out number 1, but Matt King will advance to third base.
Tobias is a scary player anytime he's up, hitting that 4-hole. He's the power hitter, 10 home runs on the season, leads Arizona, and making contact, advancing the runner. 2 outs now. Cincinnati giving up 2 runs, but you said, or excuse me, 1 out on the board. But Ethan, you said this is where Arizona makes their moment here. They get early and attack early in the top of the first.
And the thing that the Bearcats do well is find ways to come back. Saw that last night in the 11-7 finish. Pitch on the way. Taking strike 1 to Brandon Compton, a redshirt sophomore outfielder from Buckeye, Arizona. Sure feeling right at home here in the Buckeye State. Bats .305 on the year. Sitting in the 5 spot. Matt King a little bouncy on third base as that pitch outside, ball 1.
And the infield here right now, right up against the grass, getting ready to stop that runner from getting to home to try and make that play. Very important right now to limit the damage while you can.
Carrington Cross, the third baseman, very experienced when it comes to picking up the bunt. Should it happen. Third pitch of the at-bat. Low and outside for ball 2. Count moves to 2-1, 1 out. Sun Devils lead 2-0 here, top of the first inning. Matt King on third. Brandon Compton up to the plate. Pitch on the way. Chopped up to the first base side. O'Connor throws home, not in time. The speed from Matt King plates run number 3. Now there's still 1 runner aboard. He's at first base. It's Compton, and the Arizona State Sun Devils lead by 3.
Cincinnati, that's the thing about baseball. If you have a fast pitch and you hit it slow, that forces your infielders on defense to move quicker to the ball, but that gives you a better chance to reach the base, and not being able to act quick enough on it for O'Connor to throw it over to Natilli, the catcher, allowing another run to score to make this a 3-0 lead for the Sun Devils early in the first.
A quick mound visit from the Cats. I can only imagine they're all just getting together and saying, hey, let's kind of just chill out. 3 runs. We don't have to worry too much. We can kind of take a reset here with a guy on first base.
Possibility to get out of the inning. Double play on the board. New Contreras comes up for his first appearance of the day. Runner takes off towards second base. Throw is not in time.
Definitely a close call there.
Fans don't like the call made at second base. The advance is made. Compton now standing at second base. 1 ball, no strikes. Down to Contreras. Connor looks to second, now home. Is that one lined deep into the outfield? The run is made by Landon Vitterick. Holds the runner at second base.
A great catch there by Vitterick.
That's out number 2. Excuse me, sorry. Didn't mean to cut you off.
You're all good.
The 3-man boost, the hard one to navigate. Landon Vitterick able to glove out number 2 here, top of the first inning. Bearcats trail 3-0. So we welcome the number 7 hitter on the day for Arizona State. We're deep into the order here, bottom of the first inning, reminiscent of last night. Isaiah Jackson from Vail, Arizona, the 6'3" junior outfielder. It's 290 on the year so far. Connor's pitch, down low, ball 1, even at 1. Compton a little antsy over on second base, had a decent lead, was able to jump back. Connor receives the signal, looks back to second, hand in his glove, winds and fires down low, but called strike. Count moves to 1-2. One runner on as the Bearcats trail by 3-0. Connor looks back to second, now home, fires, swung on to Carrington Cross. Cross winds, finds over to first, and in time for out number 3. But the Arizona State Sun Devils make their magic happen and score 3 runs in the top of the first inning. Bearcats' first offensive front up next here on Bearcat Sports Radio. Arizona State Sun Devils lead at 3-0 here at UC Baseball Stadium at Carrington Cross. Has other plans and looks to cut back on the deficit. Last night, Arizona State scored 4 in the top of the first inning, and Cincinnati came back and responded with 2 of their own. We'll see what's different for the leadoff man in Carrington Cross facing off against Jack Martinez. 3-2 on the year, 45 1/3 innings pitched so far this year. First pitch, strike 1.
Carrington Cross, I think this season has been probably one of the Bearcats' best players, but he's definitely been the most consistent game in and game out.
Pitch on the way, taken outside for ball 1. Carrington Cross, I mean, that veteran force that you have on the diamond. So far, 429 in the year with 7 home runs, 21 RBIs. That one deep, cut and a miss, strike 2.
Swinging for the fences there.
I mean, he can lay one out. He can find the distance. It's not usually his game plan. It's usually just put the ball in play, but has the ability. Pitch on the way. Takes it down low, but it's called strike 3. Jack Martinez rings up the leadoff man for Cincinnati, and here comes Donovan Ford.
And no surprise for Martinez to get another strikeout added to the season. 66 after that. Leads Arizona State in strikeouts, and on the season, a team that consistently with strikeout batters, 360 strikeouts as a collective.
One of the top pitchers in the Big 12 is Jack Martinez. As Donovan Ford takes first pitch outside for ball 1. We were talking about it before. Donovan Ford, he was deeper in the lineup, but has kind of proved himself as the season's gone along and has been rewarded for it. Now batting in the 2-hole. On the way, inside, ball 2.
And you mentioned, going back to the first press conference that Jordan Bischel had this season, he mentioned Donovan Ford's name, and a quote from that, "While undersized, he's going to be fun to watch. He's a fast player, and he's going to be able to hit the gaps and bunt very well and get on base."
That's the name of the game for Bischel. Ball, pitch on the way, and checks his swing, but called strike anyway. Count moves to 2-1 with 1 out. Nobody on for the Sun Devils. It's Martinez looking to find himself through the inning. Winds and fires. Swing and a miss. It's called strike 2. And Ford takes a step out of the box to recollect himself. On deck, Landon Viderick, who next to Carrington Cross is a case to be named for one of the top Bearcats on the roster. Pitch on the way and tipped foul back into the catcher, Cromwick. No harm, no foul. Stays alive, counts even at 2. Ball got away from Jack Martinez. Let's go collect it. It trickled its way back towards second base. It's going to call for a new ball.
And you could see Donovan Ford physically upset after that pitch. Stepped out of the batter's box and just had to talk to himself. Really just hone in and have a chance to put the ball into play.
He's found a couple of pitches he likes. Here's another one. Swing and a miss. Foul tip into the glove. Strike 3. That's 2 strikeouts for Jack Martinez.
The right fielder, number 14, Landon.
Solidifying himself as one of the top pitchers in the Big 12, and you see it right here. 67 strikeouts now on the year. That brings up aforementioned Landon Viderick. Batting .312 on the year so far. The team's home run leader with 8. Takes pitch 1 outside for ball 1. The differences between these Bearcat teams is a couple of years ago they were one of the top teams in terms of home run hitting, but now it's more, you see bunts and stolen bases as opposed to the more exciting, explosive plays that some people are more akin to.
There's been a big, little bit of an overlap between the Reds style of play and the Bearcats there. Seeing some more small ball, try to get on base.
Viderick lets it fly past him for ball 2. Didn't like that pitch. Count now stands at 2-1. 2 outs, nobody on for Cincinnati. Martinez looks to third, now throws home. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Chance to go through a perfect inning here for the right-hander.
And Martinez consistently going to that fastball and then 2 off-speed pitches back-to-back.
Pitch on the way, ring him up, strike 3, and that's a perfect inning for Jack Martinez. 3 strikeouts in a row for Arizona State, and they're back on offense, top of the 2nd inning when we come back here on Bearcat Sports Radio.
Oh.
And now, welcome back to the UC Baseball Stadium. Not Tommy O'Connor. The other O'Connor, Kellen O'Connor, gives us ball 1 to start the inning.
Nice save.
Keen Vu.
Sorry, I was a little late on the rejoin there.
With pitch number 2. 2-0 now the count.
Troubles with the TrackMan here in terms of analysis. We're trying to discuss this, but nonetheless,
we're going to bring you the rest of this inning after a 3-run inning in the first. The pitch hit up the middle, just between the second and shortstop, caught by the center fielder, brought in. That's a hit for Keen Vu.
and it's automatic for this Arizona State Sun Devil lineup. I mean, they have now seen 3 hits on the day, and runners have reached by means of error and by anything under the sun at this point. So Cincinnati, they got to find an answer, and Kellen O'Connor, who pitched a perfect game not too long ago, is in for a little bit of trouble here.
O'Connor now gets his pitch ready, winds up, shows bunt and hit. That's going to advance to first base. 1 runner on first base, 1 runner on second base.
First hit batter of the game as Cromrick gets plunked in the foot. Nobody warming quite yet in the Cincinnati bullpen. We'll have to keep an eye on that one.
Just gonna get into a rhythm here now. Kellen can't let this get away from him more than it already has. Got to start pitching some strikes here. Gets set. Into the motion. Fouled off just behind the catcher. Over his head. Has a conversation with the umpire there. Gets the ball. Everybody just kind of getting ready. Batter takes his stance. Bat on the shoulder into the windup for Kellen O'Connor takes a stance into the windup now. It's ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Much slower start from Cincinnati than they had yesterday, especially in the first inning, getting at least 2 runs yesterday. And today, not the best start, getting shut out.
Ball number 2 called. Nobody really taking a leadoff on first or second base.
Plenty of
Small
time,
leadoff.
and you got 3 insurance runs to work with here for Arizona State. No harm, no foul.
Shows a possible steal and fouled off right over top of our heads. Back into the new athletic department.
I was telling you, man, it's going to be a rough.
Head on a swivel.
Got to keep that head in the swivel if you're going to keep your head.
2-2 count. Kellen O'Connor with the pitch. Right up the third base line. Tags for 1. Safe at first, safe at second. Out at third base from Carrington Cross.
That was a veteran play there by Carrington Cross. Was able to get the tag off and eliminate the lead runner. Almost had the throw to first, but elected not to risk it.
And you know what? That's a good point. That's a good choice. I like not risking that overthrow. Now we're going to see, can we get another one? Kellen O'Connor gets set. Likes the pitch he's been given. Checks out, second base. Pitch just low for ball number 1. 1 out, 1-0 count.
Plenty of action now in the Cincinnati bullpen. I'm not sure what was in his Wheaties this morning, but Kellen O'Connor has not looked his game today.
Second pitch, just foul off the third base side.
Both runners take off, and I mean, that was a laser into the stands.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about keeping your head on the swivel. We were just talking about it. Snuck its way through.
Fell just on the inside banner of the OSU banner, right between K-State and TCU. Second base shows possible steal. Pitch right up the center to the second baseman. Funnels to first, out, double play. Takes out first and second. That's going to lead us off 0 runs, taking us to the bottom of the inning. Oh, it is me. Oh, man, I forgot what inning we're in. We're at the bottom of the second inning. I
Man,
thought
you
we were
can't
on the
forget
third.
what inning we're in the bottom of the second inning. What is
Look at
this?
me, rookie mistakes.
You gotta go get yourself a coffee or
Oh,
something.
jeez. Jack Natilli leading us off for the bottom of the second. I thought it was the third for some reason. That inning was just so fast. We were talking about that on our break there, and
It's a great double play to get out of the inning.
Yeah, great double play, keeping it no runs, still just a 3-0 lead for Arizona State. Now pitch, Jack Martinez, just a little high, 1-1 count.
Now, this is the problem that you're going to see for Cincinnati facing off against Jack Martinez, because he's got the names and numbers of all of these Cincinnati men. Going to have to find a way to put this ball in play.
The pitch. Ooh, called ball 2. And now I'd like to see some confidence build here if I'm the Bearcats. Try to get a hit, break up the streak that Martinez has got. Called strike, 2-2 count. Until he takes a little bit of a reset there, pops out of the box. Gets back in as Martinez stands back on the mound. Gets set. Delivers the 2-2 pitch. Low, ball number 3.
And you mentioned the start that Martinez had in that first inning, going 1-2-3. Strikeout. Cincinnati looking for an utility to put the ball into play. 3 home runs on the season, hitting .325.
Swung on and missed. Just low, though. If he had not swung, would have been ball 4, but unfortunately now it's ball or strike number 3. Leads to him being out. Up next. Oh no, it's strike number 2. Man, I'm off of it this inning.
Tip that ball foul.
Tip that ball. Okay, yeah, there we go.
That one's strike
That
3.
is strike 3.
You were just a little bit ahead.
You were a little bit ahead. Yeah, I was actually like looking into the future there.
Dr. Strange had his eye and he opened the portal and saw everything.
Yeah, it was that scene from Men in Black where they're at the baseball stadium and he's taking them back in time. That's really what that was. I just had a vision of the future. Up next batting is Christian Mitchell. Batting .246 on the season so far. Strike or pitch 1, hit into left field. Left fielder running and catches it. That's going to be out number 2. Quick out number 2.
And even though that was called a fly out, and I mean nothing more than routine going out back for Hairston, it's contact made on the ball against Jack Martinez, and that's something that you're going to need, obviously speaking, if you're Cincinnati. Just find the confidence to read these pitches. Cincinnati is a very patient hitting team. They're able to read these pitches very well. It just takes them a second to get there and figure out how the starting pitcher works his magic, you know.
Sifsek up now, 1 strike. And like you said, that's good. You're seeing the ball. That should give confidence to the rest of the team. Start building and saying, hey, this guy isn't unhittable. You can make contact. Now with the second pitch here. Hit now into center field and caught for the 3rd out. But hey, you know what? That is 2 back-to-back hits nonetheless, even though they were scored as flyouts.
Definitely. Big confidence boost for Cincinnati coming up.
Welcome back to the University of Cincinnati baseball field. Cincinnati Bearcats down 3-0 to the visiting Arizona State Sun Devils. O'Connor out there to deliver the first pitch to Matt King. Wines and dines here and cuts on that one from King as strike one is called.
And that's a much needed pitch there. If you're Kellen O'Connor, find a way to get a couple of whiffs. And Matt King, he's one of the top hitters for this Arizona State squad. Make him whiff a little.
Connor delivers. High ball is called. 1-1 now. And Cincinnati yesterday fighting back in a victory against the Sun Devils, getting 8 runs in 2 innings to capitalize another win on their, what I would say, a terrific season so far.
They were a little slow to start as that pitch popped high in the air and fouled on the first base side. They were a little slow. They had their series win against Duke. They were ranked in the top 25 for a couple of weeks. Went out west, had a decent outing out there, dropped a few and won a couple, but have since found their bearings.
O'Connor delivers, shoots this one over the third baseman of Cross. Over to Mitchell in left field as King is held at first. Not the best start for the Bearcats, consistently giving up hits. So far, 5 hits given up to allow the Sun Devils to have a 3-run lead. And compared to yesterday, Arizona having 4 runs in the first inning, Cincinnati being able to combat that with 2. But a slow start for Cincinnati, not uncharacteristic for them at all throughout this season.
I mentioned the Wheaties. I think the entire team just had a bad bowl this morning. It's taking them a little bit to wake up. A different start time as well. Usually Saturdays are about 6 p.m. 3 p.m. start today.
O'Connor delivers this one to Tobias. Jacob Tobias on the season, 37 RBIs, 5 home runs, hitting in that 4-hole, 328. Dangerous when he's in the box. O'Connor goes over to the other O'Connor at first. Matt King dangerous when he's on the bases, attempting to steal. 6 stolen bases on this season. Anytime he has attempted, he's been successful. O'Connor back again to first.
Kellen O'Connor well aware of his stolen base capabilities and his track record.
Interesting to note, the shortstop playing second and the second baseman in between first and second. Seeing as the shift is not banned.
As Tobias shoots this one high and deep into left field. Mitchell able to get his glove under it. And first out's up there on the board as King is returning back to first.
It's a good turnaround here for Cincinnati. They had that look in the first inning that Arizona State historically throughout this season has just been able to light up pitchers no matter who it is. Looking for that 7th road win so far. They're 6-6 on the road this year.
Connor back to first. Matt King living free in the head of O'Connor, just able to break him down. 3 times he's thrown over to first.
Rent is due, and Matt King needs to cash up.
O'Connor continues to look over to first. Delivers this pitch straight down into the glove of Niehaus. Double play ball is thrown over to O'Connor, and the out is called. 1, 2, 3 for Cincinnati as they are heading to the dugout as the top of the 3rd inning comes to a close. Stay tuned here with Bearcats Sports Radio. Welcome back to the University of Cincinnati baseball field. Score here 3-0 in the bottom of the third inning. And Cincinnati has not gotten the bats active at all to start this game. 4 strikeouts in the first 2 at-bats. 2 at-bat chances. And we're only in the middle of the lineup. Up to bat, Lawton Brooks, the senior, hitting .237 as Martinez delivers the first pitch straight down the middle.
An important note on that last inning, at the bottom of the second inning, we did have 2 pop outs, but it is important that they got those hits and actually made contact with the pitch.
Martinez delivers one. Low ball's called to Brooks.
The thing about Lawton Brooks is that he's having a bit of an off year. He was one of those go-to hitters when it came to last season. Was injured in the earlier part of this year, and since then it's been a little bit harder for him to get back to his groove, but when he makes contact, it's a high contribution.
Martinez gets Brooks to swing low as a 1-2 count now. Cincinnati has made contact on the ball, just have not put it into play yet, which is uncharacteristic throughout the season. They haven't been held scoreless at all throughout the entire year.
Jack Martinez has definitely been liking that low pitch, getting guys to swing.
Martinez delivers one high as Brooks swings down, and the 5th strikeout for Martinez already in this game.
Absolute tear for Jack Martinez. I mean, 5 strikeouts is an incredible line. 5 strikeouts, no hits through 2 1/3 innings.
O'Connor, the left-handed batter, steps into the box, hitting .230 on the season, 4 home runs. Looks to start something with 1 out on the board. Martinez awaits. Delivers first pitch as O'Connor swings on this one. Sends it over to left field to Matt King as he gets his glove under this. And O'Connor sending back to the dugout.
I mean, this is just incredible pace when it comes to Arizona State. They are looking to come back and steal away a win. They had it in the bag last night against the Bearcats, and then they had their late game heroics, as they tend to do. So far, so good, but never count out these Bearcats. They have a knack for finding a way to put the ball in play, and it usually comes after they're able to eliminate the starting pitcher.
Niehaus, the redshirt freshman, steps in as he looks to bunt. A strike is called.
That's exactly how they'll do it. They are a bunting team. This is the brand of Bishel ball, is bunting, stolen bases, walks, hit by pitch. It's all that small ball.
As Martinez shakes off the call, accepts this one, delivers, and strike is called. Down to the count is Niehaus, hitting .286 on the season. The right-handed batter steps back into the box, further back, near that back white line. It's Martinez. Looks into the outfield. As once again, Martinez gets another strikeout for 6 strikeouts here in the bottom of the third inning. Stay tuned to Bearcats Sports Radio as we'll be back with the top of the 4th.
Back top of the fourth inning, Cincinnati trails 3-0 here to Arizona State. First pitch swinging line deep down center of the field, looks up and makes the catch on the warning track. Christian Mitchell on his horse. He's able to make his way over for out number 1. Contreras goes down. Brings up Isaiah Jackson, 0 for 1 on the day. 5 home runs, 32 RBIs for the junior.
And you know what, this is a good position to be in if you're the Bearcats, keeping it within 5. That's kind of where I would say, especially with this early on, where you're still not in a panic zone right now, because you can still get back if you get out of this inning.
Kellen O'Connor, his pitch taken right down the middle for strike 1. O'Connor, since the top of the first inning, has had 3 scoreless innings thrown. A couple of strikeouts and a couple of double plays. He winds and fires. Check swing, did he go? Umpire says no on the appeal.
And you can see, compared to the first inning, O'Connor has found his groove more, not allowing any runs, not really allowing any balls to even be put into play.
Pitch on the way, right down Broadway, strike 2. Count moves to 1-2 with 1 out, nobody on. For the Sun Devils and Isaiah Jackson. Trying to find a little bit more insurance here. Top of the fourth inning. O'Connor deals, chopped up to the second baseman, Loudon Brooks, drops the ball, and that is the second error on the day and the 5th error on the weekend for Cincinnati.
If these errors continue to pile up, you're just going to allow this lead that Arizona has already had to continue to grow, already having a base runner in Jackson on first now, and having someone dangerous to come up at bat in Vu, just in 349 on the season. But when he's in there and he's swinging for the fences, it's going somewhere. It's either going to go over the fielders or it's going to go out of the park.
Vu had a couple of RBIs last night against Cincinnati. First pitch taken for strike 1. Jackson had a decent lead, scampered back to first base.
If you're Kellen O'Connor right now, you can't let that runner on first base get into your head. That pitch there was not really on you. That's on the second baseman there. So you got to keep your confidence up that you've been pitching the last few innings with.
Pickoff not in time, trying to catch Jackson. Got about a 2-step lead off the bag over at first base. Vu has an 0-1 count with 1 out. Pitch on the way, high, ball 1. Vu had to get out of the way of that one, high, right about level with his shoulders. It's Kean Vu trying to work his magic. Had to single the top of the second inning. Another scoreless inning. He was thrown out on a double play. Kellen O'Connor's pitch outside for ball 2. Count moves to 2-1 with 1 out. Both these teams fighting for positioning in the Big 12 standings. Top 10 teams make the Big 12 tournament. Cincinnati in 7th place currently. Pitch on the way, chopped down the first base line. Loudon Brooks can't get there, and that's going to be a single with a chance for more and a diving play at third. The cutoff was made by Niehaus in the middle of second and third, and Jackson will be safe diving into third base. So runners on the corners for Arizona State with 1 out.
And Ethan, you continue to mention the Wheaties. It looked like Niehaus Brooks moved into slow motion, attempting to run to the ball and dive for it, not able to get his glove on it, and just letting that ball roll into the back of right field to now have ducks on the corners, and you have another run score. You can have a 3-run here and make this game possibly out of hands for the Cats.
I think they need to change their cereal. I recommend Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
I'm more of a Lucky Charms man, myself.
Fair enough. First pitch for Cromwick in his second appearance at the plate. Was hit by pitch top of the second inning. Father works for General Mills, that's why I say that. So I'm glad you glad you mentioned Lucky Charms, because that's right in my wheelhouse. Pickoff attempt not in time. trying to catch Vu. I came out with a new flavor strawberry toast crunch.
Is that right?
I have not tried it yet. I do have a box sitting in my pantry right now. I'm going to try that later. Probably tomorrow. Maybe even tonight for a little late night snack. Pitch on the way. Runner takes off, but foul goes the pitch. So Vu will stay. Count even at 1 with 1 out. Runners on the corners. Jackson at third. Vu at first base. Cromwell 23 RBIs on the year so far and his 79 appearances at the plate. Big off attempt. O'Connor thought about it and tossed it over to Tommy, standing at first base. Again, not in time.
That's the 7th time that we've seen him attempt a pickoff throughout this game. We're only in the top of the 4th inning, and he continues to just allow Arizona State to sit in his head and be dangerous at first base.
Pitch now on the way outside, goes ball 2. Jackson scampers back to third. He thought about taking off. Some serious defensive insurance for Cincinnati. A bit of a jam for Kellen O'Connor. Pitch on the way, line deep down to center of the field. Donovan Ford makes the catch, but it'll score a run. Off the sacrifice fly, home comes Jackson. Cromwick is able to plate another, and now it's 4-0 Arizona State.
Just continuing to throw blows into the Bearcats. The Devils are just able to get anything going. It feels like they're hitting a meatball out there anytime they step up the bat.
Jordan Bischel, no moves to the bullpen just yet. There are still relief pitchers warming back for the Bearcats. 2 outs now for Kellen O'Connor. He looks at the top of the order, and Kyle Walker, 1 for 2 on the day. He's able to get the scoring started for Arizona State. Connor pickoff to Vu, not in time. Been trying to catch anybody lacking down on that first base side. He's not had much success yet. Looks the first now home, pitch on the way, called strike 1.
And the 3rd time we're at the top of the order for the Sun Devils too. Kyle Walker, 1 for 2 already on the day. And if he can get his bat on the ball and put it in play, this inning can continue to go with 2 outs, and a 2-out rally may be starting.
Second pitch lined back to the shortstop, throw to second in time. That's out number 3. Arizona State plates 1, goes up 4-0. The Bearcats heading down to the bottom of the 4th inning. They score about 16 runs over the season in this inning. We'll see if they can get any here on Bearcat Sports Radio. We'll be right back. Bottom of the 4th inning, top of the order for Cincinnati. Carrington Cross, who has been a little quiet today. It's a little quiet yesterday as well. He missed only 1 at-bat in his series against UCF in the last home series for the Cincinnati Bearcats. Only had 2 hits last time out against Arizona State, trying to get things going here. So Bearcats trail by 4. Pitch on the way, curveball. Clips the outside of the zone for ball 1.
And if there's anybody who I would expect to start the scoring for Cincinnati or getting on base, it would be Carrington Cross. He's just been absolutely consistent throughout this whole season.
On the way, pitch number 2, finds the zone for strike 1. Upper third. Slider about 79 miles an hour. These hitters just have not found a pitch that they like. On the way, swung on and popped high in the air, back behind first base line and out of play. Way back. The sound effects scaring fans here in attendance as they play breaking glass sounds. I think people are getting a little concerned. Also, speaking of fans, shout out to the guy to our left with the propeller hat. I need to find out where he got that. I'm going to wear that on the broadcast one day. Pitch coming, line first base into the gap. Carrington Cross breaks the no-hitter for Jack Martinez and has a leadoff single.
Cincinnati finally able to make something happen here in the bottom of the 4th inning. You mentioned it right before we went to break. 16 runs scored in the 4th inning alone throughout the entire season. And with one of your best hitters on base now, that momentum is going to continue to go. You have Donovan Ford, your transfer, coming up now. He's been consistent on the season too, and he can hit the ball far, and it will go out of this park.
He's also able to drop bunts, and especially drop bunts for base hits. Pitch on the way, looks at strike 1. 16 runs scored in the 4th inning for Cincinnati is not even close to their best. They outscored opponents 30-19 in the 5th and 38-11 in the 7th. So far this season, outscoring their opponents 215 runs to 170 all season. Martinez pitch, popped high in the air. We'll see exact same spot, first base side, and runs the count 0-2.
They must not like that new athletic building because they're trying to break the windows on it already.
Hey, man, they just built that. They got to take care of that.
Yeah. Hopefully it's still under warranty.
Just call the construction company back out to fix it. The 0-2. Hits him. And he takes off sprinting to first base. As the Bearcats do by tradition, and now 2 runners on, nobody out for Jack Martinez. Now a little bit of a jam. Landon Vitterick coming up here in the 3-hole.
I think we saw this coming when we had those first hits in the 2nd inning. Even though they didn't lead to anything, we saw it that the Bearcats were able to get eyes on the ball as he pitched it, and now we're leading into production. We're getting guys on base. We're getting into his head. Now we got a hit by pitch. This is going to be really good for the Bearcats if they can keep this up.
This is exactly the game you want to play if you're Jordan Bischel and the Bearcats. Perfect small ball. Vitterick shows bunt. Cromwick teased the throw back to second, but Cross scurries back, and there's no throw. Ball 1 is the call. Back behind home plate. Home plate umpire Cody Oakes. First base Bill McGuire. Second base Pete Peterson. And third base Rick Allen. The umpiring crew for today's contest. Pitch down low for ball 2. Vitterick still showing bunt. Really wants to drop and advance the runners, and he's got speed. If he drops the bunt just right, he's got a base hit. Pitch on the way. High for ball 3. That's another thing Landon Vitterick does very well. He's able to read pitches and force walks. Sun Devils had 10 walks yesterday. Pitched 10 walks yesterday, I should say. Martinez on the way. Right down the middle, strike 1. Literally savaged that one, but still a true hitter's count here. 3-1, nobody out. 2 on for Cincinnati. Cross at second base, Ford at first. Bearcats trying to put a couple of runs on the board, trailing 4-0 here, bottom of the 4th inning. Martinez spins around his plant foot and throws it back to Carrington Cross. Can't get the pickoff to go.
And you can just feel the energy that the crowd's bringing. The momentum is shifting towards the Bearcats now after that cross hit and the forward hit by pitch. And you're looking to Vitterick to get these guys in.
That pitch outside, ball 4, loads the bases for Jack Natilli. He's looking for his first hit and has a chance for a big one.
And let's not forget last night, Jack Natilli with the go-ahead run after being hit by a pitch. Let's see if Jack Natilli can bring that back into this game. Can we get a hit for our first score at the bottom of the 4th?
It's a controversial hit by pitch. There was the argument that it hit the knob of the bat. Home plate umpire Rick Allen would eventually call it a hit by pitch by trade and give the Bearcats the lead. Jack Natilli watches the first pitch for strike 1. Natilli's sophomore transfer out of Rutgers, former Big Ten product. Played in 47 games with 44 starts, 5 homers, and drove in 18 runs. Second pitch on the way, tap foul. Third base side into the Bearcat dugout. Quickly 0-2 for the sophomore. Christian Mitchell on base, and he's also known to do damage. It's a keen eye for the baseball. It's about .244 on the year. Has had a couple of clutch hits in key moments. Bases loaded. As Martinez winds and fires. Oh. Hits him in the helmet. Natilli goes down. He's still down in the batter's box. Carrington Cross is going to walk his way home to check on his teammate. Jack Martinez comes over to make sure Natilli's okay. Slowly gets up, supporting himself on his bat.
Piece of his helmet flew off.
Wow.
Too.
94-mile-an-hour pitch. Straight, guys, and that might be the game for Jack Martinez. I can't imagine pitching after that. Jack Natilli's going to head over to the dugout. So your starting catcher is now out, potentially out of the game. Pinch runner will come on. As he sprints his way to first base. After his teammate falls to the floor after being plunked in the head, Luis Perona, the Chicago, Illinois native, the pinch runner, in place of Jack Natilli, and he'll get checked on. Corey Klingenbeck on call to replace Natilli in the battery. But for the moment, Jack Natilli taken into the dugout. He'll be assessed by the medical training staff. And Christian Mitchell has a chance to bring in a couple more runs. The Bearcats have already bladed one. Carrington Cross walked his way home. First pitch in the dirt, ball 1. Jack Martinez is visibly shaken up after that last pitch.
You could see that arm release from the ball. He had to reach more than he normally does, and it just went right into the dirt. He's out of his groove after that dangerous pitch to the head of Natilli.
Pitch again down low, goes ball 2. Truly a scary sight. Glad to see that Natilli's okay. We play on here at UC Baseball Stadium. Pitch from Martinez. Right down Broadway, strike 1. Count goes to 2-1. Nobody out. Still bases loaded. Ford at third. Vitterick at second. Perona at first base in place of Natilli. Keep you posted on his status as the game progresses. Martinez swing and a miss for Christian Mitchell, and that's strike 2. Martinez had his no-hitter broken up in the bottom of the 4th inning. Carrington Cross did the honors, hitting a leadoff single. Since then has come home to score. Martinez on the way. Down low, and that's ball 3. Count runs full. just outside the zone. Martinez is all out of sorts. Pitch on the way for a full count. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Christian Mitchell goes down swinging. That brings up Cal Sefcik. Base is still loaded now, 1 out.
7th strikeout for Martinez today. But we mentioned physically out of his groove too. Bases loaded, that's automatically that you get into the pitcher's head. That's already stressful. And then you hit Natili in the head too. You're out, and now you get a strikeout. You're kind of finding your rhythm again, but Cincinnati fighting their way back.
That one lined foul down the third base line. Nice strong hit. Ended up going 333 feet straight left. Pitch coming. Right down the middle for strike two. Now a good recovery loading here for Jack Martinez. So he tries to clean up his jam. Bases loaded. Pitch on the way. Swung on, popped high in the air. First base side, and it's going to land out of play. Almost caught by an Arizona State fan down the first base side. Jack Martinez just trying to get out of the inning. Oh, to the count to Cal Sefcik on the way. Swung on and popped high in the air. First base side again. 3 pitches, all have gone foul.
Got scared there for a second. That one was coming right for our faces.
I'd make the catch. Don't worry.
Okay.
You would dive for me?
I would. I would dive and save you.
I probably would be ducking under the table if the ball's coming right at me.
That's fair. That's fair. Pitch on the way. Swung on and driven in the left field into the Bearcat bullpen. Cal Sefcik staying alive.
A lot of contact for him. He's hitting it towards the foul pole into that back left corner near the 320-foot line. And if he's able to just aim it correctly, he has a chance at a grand slam here.
Swing of the bat takes the lead for Cincinnati. Here's the pitch. Down low, ball 1. What an at-bat for Cal Sefcik. The transfer from Indiana. Played in 26 games with 9 starts. Sees it as Jack Martinez pitches another one in the dirt, and that's ball 2. Excuse me, it's fouled off. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes. To Sefcik, pitch on the way. Down low, and that's ball 2. Cal Sefcik is working a magical at-bat here.
With bases loaded, 1 out on the board. 2-2 count. Has seen, I believe, 11 different types of pitches.
On the way. Lined straight back down the right field line. It's going to drop for a sacrifice fly. Donovan Ford on his horse to home plate. Runners will advance as Donovan Ford dives, touches the bag, and he's safe for the second run for the Bearcats. Now it's 4-2 here, bottom of the 4th inning. Runners on the corners with 2 outs.
And just that speed from Ford, able to beat the throw from right field into home, making this a 4-2 game for the Bearcats. After a slow start, it took them till the 4th inning. And now this is continuing to add to the amount of runs that they've scored just in the 4th inning throughout the entire season.
Brings up Loudon Brooks, who is due. He's 0 for 1 today. Lined out to center. His last time out, pitch down Broadway, strike 1.
stolen base the second, no action by the catcher.
Thank you for that. Everyone started cheering. I looked down at my notes and looked up, and runner took off. So Perona's now at second base. As Brooks watches the high pitch go by for ball one. So that leaves Viderick at third, Perona at second. Jack Martinez trying to clean up his mess. He's allowed 2 runs in, both of them earned. Pitch on the way, popped high in the air, coming back towards the first base side, towards our table, bouncing off the ground and out of the ballpark. Oh, almost out of the ballpark, caught by a little kid. Was able to get over there. Eric stood up and covered his head. I was a little terrified of that one. See, we were talking about it in the pregame. Should have brought my glove.
I told you to. You should have.
The gloves that I don't own, but
no,
you know.
you got the hat. Just
I do
take
have
it
the
off.
hat. I'll have to take my Seattle Kraken hat off and make the catch. I'd barehand it. I'm not scared. Pitch on the way. Popped high in the air. First base side again. It's going to almost bounce off the light stanchion, but falls out of play. Count is 1-2 with 2 outs.
Yeah, I think the real trick there, what you got to do, you ever seen that video of the dad with the baby in the beer?
Oh, I sure have.
Catches the ball with the baby in the beer, doesn't drop either.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I had the discussion with my fiance. I was telling her, I got to bring you out to a UC baseball game one of these times because it's a fantastic place. A strike one, that strike, ball 2, sorry. Ball 2 is delivered. And, just a fantastic opportunity to come out and see some good baseball. If you haven't and you're watching at home and listening at home, you ought to come out to a ball game. But I was telling her, and we were talking about the fact that, hey, are you going to be able to protect me if a foul ball comes our way? I said, of course I am. Have you ever seen that video I referenced? I showed it to her.
That one lined into left, but foul.
And so I think I impressed my wonderful fiance with my theoretical baseball knowledge. But hey, it's like theoretical theoretical football games in college football. That's what matters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The theoreticals are always more important than the actualities.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Here we go. Count even at 2 with 2 outs. Runners at second and third for Loudon Brooks. Working against Jack Martinez, who's trying to get out of the inning. On the way. Swung on and popped high in the air, and Loudon Brooks stays alive. So back-to-back, very impressive at-bats for Cincinnati. First, Cal Sefcik was able to take 12 pitches, stayed alive, got a sacrifice fly out of it. Now Loudon Brooks doing just about the same thing. Swing of the bat, Cincinnati takes the lead, or at least ties it up. On the way, down low for ball 3. Full count for Loudon Brooks. It has been a struggle for Jack Martinez to get out of the inning.
Martinez just does not have the same confidence he started this game with. That's playing into the hands of UC right now.
Had 7 strikeouts up to this moment. Delivers, swing and a miss to make that 8. Cromwick applies a tag on Loudon Brooks, and that'll do it for the bottom of the 4th inning. Cincinnati gets 2 back and now trails by 2, 4-2, as we head to the top of the 5th inning. Arizona State still leading here on Bearcat Sports Radio when we return.
Welcome back to the Bearcats Radio Network. We are here from Cincinnati Baseball. Hairston now going to be the leading off batter for the inner, out just outside of Gilbert, Arizona. Queen Creek, Arizona is where he's from. Yeah, I actually have some family out in Gilbert, Arizona.
There you go.
There you go, yeah. Ball one called. Yeah. Family out in Gilbert, Arizona goes to the University of Arizona.
Well, Bearcats made a trip out to Arizona earlier.
Second pitch foul just behind the media booth.
Opened up Big 12 play against them.
The count is now 1-1. Keelan O'Connor still in pitching, having a pretty good performance after the first inning. A couple of errors leading to a score in the top of the fourth. With the pitch now. Skied into left field. Everybody running over to get it, and it's foul ball as Carrington Cross runs into the brick wall there.
I think that may have made impact with a spectator.
Ooh.
We have had multiple injuries today, both on and off the field. Hopefully okay.
Everybody looks fine.
Looks like he's got a power for it. You get some ice cream.
Yeah.
You all right, buddy?
Yeah. Absolute champ.
Landon Hairston, the son of Scott Hairston, former major leaguer.
Called ball two there.
He's had stints with the Diamondbacks, Padres, Athletics, Mets, Cubs, and Nationals. A very long career. 242 batting average, 106 home runs.
O'Connor now gets it winding up into the pitch. Delivers. Hit over the center between right and center field. Center fielder picks it up. Going to throw it in to second base. Slides into second base with the tag. Didn't slide off going through the slide.
Just a bit of an insurance tag from Charlie Niehaus just to make sure he didn't slide off the bag.
The shortstop.
Very close, though. I like the effort from shortstop there.
Did you guys see the acrobatic throw that Donovan Ford had, too? Off of 1 foot, like 180 spin throw.
Donovan Ford built Ford Tough. Not sponsored. Somebody ought to reach out to Ford to get that man an NIL deal.
Wouldn't that be something? Haven't used the built Ford Tough since Jerome Ford played here for Cincinnati football.
That there strike number one on Matt King, the shortstop. 2 hits, 1 run, 2 RBIs. Ball one.
Keelan O'Connor still working. He's had a little bit more success as the game's gone on. Had 2 scoreless innings in the top of the second and third. Allowed 1 run in the top of the fourth. Still action in the bullpen, though, for Cincinnati. We'll see who comes out of it.
Pitch, dribbles just up the center to the second baseman to first base, and with the out, that's going to be out number 1 as the runner advanced from second to third.
Good pickup from Loudon Brooks. He had a couple of errors earlier in the game. It's good to see him be able to pick up that ball and not lose any confidence, as he's always been in that gap, whether or not he's in the shift or not.
And we talked about that at the start of the game. 3 errors yesterday let Arizona State get up to that 6-2 lead, forcing the comeback. Right now, the Bearcats in a little bit of a better position, 4-2, still within reach. As long as you can keep the Sun Devils at bay, you don't let them get too far ahead, you can still kind of bring that back. Now, hit over top to the center fielder, 1 hops. As a runner scores from third base, it's going to be 5-2 now, 1 run.
And we mentioned more about the weather to begin the game. I know Ethan kind of talked about it to introduce, but it was more cloudy and the sun coming down now. It's going to throw more shadows out on the field, so it's going to be hard to see where the ball is if it's hit into the outfield. And Ford, they teach you very young to back up before you go and attack the ball if it's popped up to you. And we saw him back up a little bit, just a little too much, not able to pick up the speed and get his glove under the ball.
That was the 1-0 count there. Ball one pitched to Compton. You know, it's speaking of the weather, it's a nice day out. You know, it's been cold all week after coming off a 70-degree. The 1-0 pitch, called ball two.
Yeah, just have to shed a layer.
Yeah, it's just unrelated to baseball. It's been just such a cold week. You know?
It has.
It sucks. You know, coming off a 70-degree week, and then it's like cold and rainy.
Oh, that's the Ohio Valley for you.
Yeah, there you go. But now we're back up into the 50s, high 50s. It actually feels nice. We got the sun. Now we got the shade, but ball three. Oh, no, strike one called. Sorry, my bad. I'm not paying enough attention. Keelan O'Connor reading the pitches that he's been given, likes what he sees, stares down the man at first base. With the pitch, strike number two called. 2-2 is the count, 1 out.
That off speed, able to just bite a corner and get the strike called. And we continue to see Connor go to that off speed pitch, that changeup, and then right after that, he may throw either his slider or his fastball and get the batter to swing.
That ball's hit into left field. It's curving and foul ball just in front of the Bearcats bullpen.
That one took a deep curve, and it cut straight back into the dugout, kind of hit that near side corner. Just nearly out of the ballpark.
Probably good 290 feet, I think, on that. I believe it.
Distance reads 312.
Ah, there we go.
You're close.
Yeah, that's within 1% of error.
Thank you, Trackman.
Now O'Connor gets set, stares down the man at first base again, pitches, fouled off just right field.
Been a lot of good at-bats between both these teams so far, really working deep into the count. Nothing's going to beat Cal Sefcik in taking 12 pitches deep to get a sacrifice fly out of it.
The pitcher looks now to first base once again, gets set, takes a breath, ball in hand, delivers the pitch. That ball's high for ball three.
Full count now to Compton. Not the best at-bats for him today, 0-2. First, in the first inning, reaching on fielder's choice and then getting in that double play in that third. Looks to make something happen with a runner on first.
Just a lighthearted toss from Kellen to Tommy over to first base.
It's one of those pitches or one of those throws where it's just kind of like, don't try it. Don't try it.
Just got to avoid the bulk.
Assert your dominance, you know. And the runner will take off from first to second on that pitch. The 3-2 count. Oh, no.
Fouled off again. Compton's
okay.
Staying alive. He's thrown into a double play. His last appearance in the top of the third and reached on the fielder's choice in the first.
O'Connor gets set. Once again, looks to the first base. Hit to the first baseman. Now he's going to catch it to second base, and it makes the play, the shuffle play to first base.
It's a good read from Tommy O'Connor. Was able to get back to the bag and let Loudon Brooks come up and collect. It kind of dropped and fizzled out its momentum right around to the dirt of the infield.
Tobias advances to second base. Up next to bat, New Contreras. 2 at-bats, no hits. O'Connor has done pretty well against him so far.
A brief meeting of the minds here. Pitching coach Taylor Sheriff is going to head over and have a brief talk with Kellen O'Connor and Jack Natilli, who's re-entered the game after he was hit in the helmet. The bottom of the fourth inning was one of the driving factors of the first run of the game. Brought home Carrington Cross. Kellen O'Connor, I imagine, might be done after this inning of work. The couple of arms warming in the bullpen. Namely, catching my eye, Joel Pinheiro, right-hander, transfer from FIU. Appeared a handful of times this season, 2-2 on the year so far with a 6.29 ERA. He's pitched well in relief.
O'Connor now getting set back again on the mound. Takes a look. Second base delivers. Ball one. Everybody just kind of getting set. Tobias takes a couple steps off second base with the delivery. 2-1 pitch. Bounces. He's going to take off to third base. Possibly goes home. No, he's not. He's going to just kind of stay back around third base. A little bit of a wild pitch there from Keelan O'Connor. Don't want to let them score more than they already have. 1 run here at the top of the 5th. Still want to be within touching distance, just so that way when there's a pitching change, you can kind of still get back into it. At the bottom, you don't really want that momentum to kind of move away from you as you move in to the bottom of the inning. Delivers. Ball number 3. Counts is now 3-0, 2 outs.
Good thing here about this potential walk is they are going to walk Contreras. And he'll be standing at first base and brings up Isaiah Jackson, who's 0 for 2 on the day. It's now runners on the corners, and no call to the bullpen just yet, but I imagine Kellen forces another walk here, and his day might be done.
First pitch of the batter is going to be strike number 1. Fouled off. Oh, and he almost tagged him, but he dropped the ball when he made the tag. Unfortunately, that means he's safe at third. 1 runner advanced from first to second, though.
Carrington Cross tagged Tobias so hard that he lost the ball out of his glove.
I like the effort, but not quite the finish. Jackson now, center fielder. 0-1 count. Swings on it, hits it up the middle to the second baseman. 1 runner's going to score. Sorry, no score. That's going to be 3 outs as we take it to the bottom of the 5th inning. This is your Bearcats Radio Network. And we're back now at the bottom of the 5th inning. This is your Bearcats Radio Network, live from the Cincinnati Baseball Stadium.
First baseman number 44, Tommy O'Connor.
Tommy O'Connor going to lead us off for the bottom of the 5th, trying to make back some of the runs that we lost. 5 runs scored by Arizona State, 2 in the fourth and the fifth. Sorry, 1 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth, 3 in the first inning. Scoreless second and third.
Got a handful of runs back, bottom of the fourth inning.
On a wild pitch from Jack. Unfortunately, not a wild pitch from Jack this time. Strike number 1 called on a swing and a miss.
Martinez continues to just be dominant at the mound. 8 strikeouts, only 1 walk. Cincinnati, at their 12 attempts into the box, only 1 hit all day.
Well, unfortunately, 1 as strike 2 is called. Unfortunately, 1 hit. Jack Niehaus, not Jack Niehaus. Was it Niehaus?
Carrington Cross.
Carrington Cross in the head. No, it wasn't. It wasn't Carrington Cross in the head.
Carrington Cross had the single to break up the no-hitter.
That is correct.
Jack Natilli
Jack Natilli
got plunked in the head
right.
and scored the run.
As a foul ball is now hit into left field, just in the back of the stands there. Jack Natilli was unfortunately hit in the head. That gave us 1 run. Niehaus broke up, or Carrington Cross, sorry, broke up the no-hitter at the start of the game. Now an 0-2 count for Tommy O'Connor.
Tilly has since returned to the lineup. He is okay.
Delivers the pitch. That ball is low for ball 1. O'Connor steps back into the box after a little bit of a break there, just to reset. Martinez delivers. Hit out into left field in the gap between center and right. Left field, sorry, he's going to deliver it back in. The cutoff from shortstop. Tommy O'Connor with the double, hits an emote.
Not the emo. That's the third double for Tommy O'Connor this weekend. Had 2 yesterday, was one of the driving forces.
Charlie Niehaus.
That's big time for Cincinnati and brings up Charlie Niehaus, who is sneaky good. His first home run of his career was a grand slam against Miami. It's a great.
And he's safe into second with a stolen base.
And that's just pure wheels by Niehaus. It's his 12th stolen base on the year. This is a quick Bearcats team.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of speed all over the place. You look at Donovan Ford, Charlie Niehaus. Tons of speed all over.
1 ball, 0 strikes, 0 outs. Runners at second and third. Carrington Cross now looking for strike or ball number 2. Martinez trying to put away one of UC's scariest hitters. Delivers a third, bunts it high. It's going to be a foul ball. Like the aggression there from Carrington Cross to try and get some running going.
I mean, a no-out bunt, especially on the first base side. It was well placed, just a little bit too hard.
Yep.
On the second bounce.
That's a little high, just rolled foul. Caught foul, I should say. Martinez gets set now for the 2-1 count. That ball's low. It's 3-1.
Same spot that Cincinnati was in the bottom of the 4th. Runners on and just constant walks, getting hit by pitches and allowing 2 runs to score. And Cincinnati having a chance now with 2 runners in scoring positions on second and third.
That is strike number 2 called for Martinez against Cross. 3-2 count now, 0 outs. Looking for Cross here to possibly be aggressive.
Look at Jack Martinez's numbers here, approaching 90 pitches on the day.
That ball hit deep into left field, all the way back to the wall. It's going to be caught. Runner tags from third, no move at second. But we score 1. It is now 3-5. A sacrifice fly from Carrington Cross.
I think everybody in the stadium stood up and watches that ball. It was great carry, just a little bit too much of an angle. And unfortunately dropped to the floor. A good read by Hairston out at the warning track to make the catch.
You know, if the The altimeter here is reading 30.14 for you aviation friends. You probably know that. My aerospace major here to
All right.
inform everybody.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
I know nothing about the air, but you know.
Yeah, with the colder day, it is 55. That does bring the air density up just a little bit, so that means the ball's not going to fly as far. So if it was a little bit warmer, maybe we would have seen that.
It's your science lesson with Eric Gonzalez here.
There we go. Hey, Bearcats Aerospace. Shout out. CEAS. Going to deliver over to second base for a pickoff attempt. No play made.
Nobody liked that here in the stadium.
No.
Polite smattering of fans has turned out here today. Game 2, 3-game series against Arizona State. It's been lovely so far. A little cold yesterday, but fine today.
And that's going to be swung on for strike one as second base advances to third.
And that is the second stolen base for Charlie Niehaus while he's been on the base paths. Now what we're missing now is him to steal home.
Never know.
A little Ellie De La Cruz magic going.
Martinez gets set. The 0-1 pitch. Looks back home. Delivers. Swung on a miss. Strike number 2.
Ford's liking what he's seeing, just pitches down outside the zone. Another great curveball.
And that's how Martinez started this game, was pitching down low, and that's getting guys to swing at that. Kind of going back to that now.
Ain't broke, don't fix it.
Gets set, looks to third base. Niehaus with a little bit of a lead, delivers. Time is called. Pitch clock. I believe the call was going to be a pitch clock violation on not Justin Martinez, Jake Martinez. That's ball number 1 on a pitch clock violation called by the third base umpire.
And you rarely see that too, especially in the college game. Most pitchers are very in tune with the pitch clock. It's been around for a couple of years now, and especially in the majors, everybody's trying to get tuned into how the pitch clock has worked. You don't see many of those.
Martinez gets set now. Pitch clock at 12. Looks back home, gets set. That ball hit into right field, pulling foul. It's going to be foul just behind the stands, by the concession stand, right in the back corner.
Keep watching that pitch clock. There's one right in front of him, too, with those big numbers blaring right back at him. So I'm very surprised that he was not able to, I guess, be aware of where it was. And he was getting very low on that last pitch, too. It got to about 3 seconds before he released the ball.
I mean, sometimes you just get lost in the count.
That ball fouled off. It was interesting if you look back just a couple of weeks. The Reds had a similar incident where the opposing team missed the pitch clock, and the fans started counting down like they would at a shot clock for a basketball game. I thought that was quite entertaining. We ought to bring that here. Get the student section riled up.
I bet the guy with the propeller hat would be in on it.
I bet he absolutely would be. That man is a ball knower. That ball fouled back into the net just in front of the media section. 1-2 now. 1 out. Arizona State leads 5-3. Bearcats have scored 1 on a sacrifice fly from Carrington Cross this inning. Looking to do more damage here with Charlie Niehaus at third base. Donovan Ford, built for tough at bat. Martinez delivers. That one is hit up to third base. Oh, and he's hit. He's hit. He's safe at home. Niehaus was hit by the third baseman throwing the home plate for the out, and that will score the Bearcats' second run of the inning. The score now 5-4.
It's unconventional, but it works. Charlie Niehaus gets plunked in the back on the throw from Contreras, trying to make it all the way on the throw. So now you've got Donovan Ford safe. He's going to move up to second base.
Number 14, Lance Vineres.
So now you're one swing of the bat. You're tying runs 180 feet away. Landon Vitterick, he has the power to give the Bearcats a lead here. Bottom of the 5th inning.
Now Martinez will stare down Ford, delivers the pitch, strike number 1 called. On a swing and a miss.
I think Landon Vitterick heard me on that comment about me taking that lead, at least tying things up.
Looked like he was swinging for a deep ball there. Delivers the second pitch. That ball's going to be low. Ball number 1.
It was a great stop as well by Cromwick. Prevents Donovan Ford, who he was about to take off.
Martinez gonna look back to Ford. Now look back home. Gets set. Ball in hand. Looks back over. Now home. Gonna pitch up or pick off to second base. No play made.
Ford's messing with Jack Martinez's mental. Had that brief hesitation towards third base. Was able to force the pickoff.
Martinez gets set now. Gonna do it again. This time spins the other way instead of spinning towards him. Spins away from him.
Tried to fake him out.
Yeah, little mind games there from Jack Martinez.
Mind games for both sides.
Ford gonna take a little bit more of a lead. Juking him out here. The pitch, strike number 2 called.
Cincinnati being able to fight back, starting the game down 3-0 up until the bottom of the 4th, where it was 4-0. 2 runs scored and now another 2. Arizona's
Same area that Martinez has been throwing all day, and you know, it's one of the pitches that he's thrown. I don't know if don't know what else we can say. That was a call.
Quentin Coates, the freshman, checking in.
Pinch
at
hitter
bat.
for Jack Natilli. Not a good sign for the starting catcher, who mentioned before got plunked at the bottom of the 4th inning. Quentin Coates actually would have hit his first career home run against Miami in the Joe Nuxall Classic earlier this week, but the game against Miami got rained out. The Bearcats were trying to make a comeback against the Red Hawks and get a 3-game season sweep of Miami.
Delivers the first pitch, fouled back into the net, just in front of the media.
Quentin Coates, he's had a couple of appearances this season. We saw him against Duke, and he has good eyes for the ball. He bats .222. He's 3 for 18 on the year. Couple of walks. Good potential for the freshman.
Martinez gets set, looks back to second base, contemplating a pickoff, delivers the 0-1 pitch. That ball low. Count is now going to be 2-1. Sorry, 1-1. 1-1, 2 outs, delivers the third pitch. That ball also low. 2-1 now. 2-1, 2 outs. Ford at second base.
You have a tying run on second. You have Coates up, just a freshman. But if you allow
Strike 2 called.
strike called there, but if you're Coates, you have a chance to tie up this game and possibly cement yourself more of a chance to get into that lineup. With Natilli possibly injured for upcoming games with that hit to the head from Martinez earlier in this game.
And that's going to be strike number 3 to end out the inning. 2 runs in for the Bearcats, making it 5-4. This is your Bearcats Radio Network.
Welcome back to the University of Cincinnati, home of the Bearcats. Top of the 6th inning, score 5-4. Bearcats fighting back as O'Connor delivers his first pitch to Vu. On the day, 2 for 2 for him, hitting .356 on the year, just a junior. He's made an immense impact for the Sun Devils in this game. O'Connor delivers straight down Broadway as strikes called. 1-1 count now.
Has a couple of clutch hits Vu did yesterday in the 11-7 loss. Bearcats were able to come back and hold Vu in the back half of that game.
O'Connor delivers down low to the new catcher, McDaniels. It's Natili's day it's done after that pitch from Martinez got him straight into the head at his at-bat.
Just had a visit from a squirrel. It turns out he's actually an Arizona State fan. Unfortunately, he couldn't stick around. So we would have interviewed him otherwise. Unfortunately, he didn't have any nice things to say about the Bearcats, so he scampered off.
Bunch of squeaking and squawking.
Yep.
2-2 count now to Vu. As I believe off of that foul tip, he may have clipped his own cleat.
I think he did foul it off his foot. 2-2.
O'Connor. No strikeouts for him. Looks for his first with this pitch. Swing and
Plunks him.
Vu gets a free base. O'Connor has struggled throughout today, allowing 5 runs. 3 in the first, but was able to calm down in second and third. 4th and 5th, he's giving up 1 in each of those. But we consistently see O'Connor throw it over to Tommy O'Connor, the first baseman, anytime a base runner's on first. With Vu, last time Vu was on first, 4 times for a pickoff attempt from O'Connor. Stares over to Vu and delivers this. Swing and a miss by Cormrick.
O'Connor right around 90 pitches now, and I mean, he had a complete game, the first one since 2022 against Texas Tech. Not so much disappointing. I don't think that's the right word to describe it here. Top of the 6th inning, Kellen O'Connor's leash kind of running thin.
O'Connor delivers an outside ball. 1-1 count.
Just not his day.
As in the bullpen for the Bearcats, it's starting to warm up. Few pitchers we've seen get up and down, just throw a few pitches. As O'Connor back over to Tommy as Vu's called safe at first.
Michael Conti, the most recent addition to the bullpen, now in left field for Cincinnati. Joel Pinheiro also throwing.
O'Connor delivers. Swing, high ball. Up into near the shortstop and Niehaus as he tracks this one into the sun. Gets the first out on the board for the Bearcats.
Just a routine infield fly caught by Charlie Niehaus. Shortstop takes a couple steps over, is able to make the catch, no problem.
As top of the order for Sun Devils, Kyle Walker. 4th at bat for him today. He's gone 1 for 3. Single in the first, but in the 2nd and 4th, not able to make much happen. O'Connor stares Vu down and delivers this one to Walker as that swings. And fair ball off of the third base line as Vu is rounding third and is held there. And a double for Kyle Walker at his 4th at bat.
Kyle Walker just giving a shrug back over to his own dugout. No problem. Top of the order is able to smack in a double. Don't rule out the double play. Bearcats have had about 2 today so far. Chance defensively, and Kellen O'Connor trying his best to give his offense a chance to come back. The Bearcat offense has found a way to get 4 runs back. They trail by 1, 5-4 here, top of the 6th inning.
O'Connor stares down Hairston as he delivers this one into the dirt. And if you're Jordan Bischel, the head coach for the Cincinnati Bearcats, are you looking more into your bullpen early now with runners on 2nd and 3rd and O'Connor's night coming to a close possibly with getting up to that century mark in pitches?
I do think you're looking towards your bullpen if you're Cincinnati. You have to find a way to hold on to what comeback you're kind of brewing into right now. You're down by 1, and you've got a lot of relievers still to work with here. Only went through about 3 yesterday. Still plenty of them to go through in the weekend. Get the series win against Arizona State tonight. You're not really looking, and obviously, is that pitch a little high, goes ball 2, but obviously you're looking for the series sweep. You're always looking for a win, but you can feel comfortable going into your getaway day for Arizona State, down a couple of your big pitchers, if you can pull out this win tonight. So I think they're going to go to the bullpen here in just a minute.
O'Connor, high strike. Make this a 2-2 count now with 1 out on the board. 5-4 here in the top of the 6th inning.
But obviously, if Kellen O'Connor can find his way through this inning, that's going to be perfect for Cincinnati. Get as much out of your starter as you can, especially a starter who is very experienced and has a lot of talent.
O'Connor shoots this one over to Hairston as he rips it into third. Right field over to Vitterick as 1 run scores. And Walker's held at third base. Hairston on first. So runners on the corners for the Sun Devils.
Keep looking over to Jordan Bishop to see if he's going to make an appearance out of the dugout as he takes a step, and looks like it might be Kellen O'Connor's time to take a seat.
I was just about to say I would expect that 1 run would have been the sign to bring in the relief pitcher as Bishop walks out to money.
6-4 here in the top of the 6th inning. Stay tuned to Bearcats Sports Radio as we will take a short break. Welcome back to the University of Cincinnati as O'Connor's night came to an end after allowing 6 runs. Michael Conti makes his 13th appearance on the season, 2.84 ERA.
It's a big gust of wind.
Oh, yeah.
As the sun is out, but the wind blaring right into us.
It's been weather's not exactly consistent here.
As Matt King awaits from Conti. That sidearm pitch comes at it with an angle. 1-0 count. Matt King 2 and 3 on the day. 3 home runs and 391. Had a double in the first and a single in the third as Conti delivers. Swings on it as King, and that one's hit into Vitterick in right field. Picks it up and swings it over to Niehaus. The shortstop is a base. 1 run scored from Walker from third, and now base runners on second and first for the Sun Devils makes this a 7-4 lead.
The first baseman, number 18, Jacob Tobias.
Not the start you were looking for if you're Michael Conti and the Bearcats. And you had Joe Pinheiro warming before. Jordan Bischel made the call not to put him in, probably saving him for later in the game.
Jacob Tobias, the first baseman, awaits from Conti. Check swing. He's not gone. 1-0 count now with 1 out. 5 home runs on the season for Tobias. 38 RBIs. Base runners on first and second, and Hairston and King. Conti delivers. Inside ball's called. 2-0 count.
If this keeps up, you have to wonder how long Michael Conti's leash is. I know he just got brought into the game, but no room for error, now trailing by 3.
Conti delivers, swings on it. Is Tobias, shoots it over to right field. And Vitterick, as he gets his gloves under it, tries to swing it into the infield as runners advance. Second and third, as called safe. Looks to be interference from the third baseman and cross as Harrison is called safe at third. Not giving him a clear path to the base, I assume. It's what the umpire at third base, Rick Allen, was telling Carrington Cross.
You know, I'm no expert, but it looked to me like he was just kind of coming over to make a play on the ball and paths cross. I don't know. I'm not an umpire, but I guess Jordan Bischel has the same question I do, is how does that all work in?
And I could see Ethan over there, hands up and everything. A little,
Yeah, you know.
questionable call.
I can see both sides. He was in the line of the runner.
But he's making the catch. He's making the catch for the
He
ball.
is making the catch, but I think that just by technicality, it is interference technically because he was in the path of the runner.
Yeah.
And
It may be the right answer, but I don't like the right answer.
yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. I'm trying my best to be neutral here, even though this is Homer radio by technicality. But you look at where Cross was standing, the throw was made. He obviously made the catch and had to come out to make the catch, but him standing in the way of Hairston, the runner, and trying to get that swinging tag, what does go as interference technically, but they are going to send this to a review, it seems.
As the umpires, Cody Oates, Bill McGuire, Pete Peterson, and Rick Allen all come together in the middle of home and the mound. And for Oates, a rough start to coming in, allowing 2 runs early. And now this interference call is getting reviewed by the umpires. Cincinnati fought back to make this a 1-run game, 5-4, now giving up 2 runs, 7-4 here in the top of the 6th. What does Cincinnati need to do with Martinez, who has 9 strikeouts already, or excuse me, 10 strikeouts? What do they need to change when they're up to bat?
Yeah, I think they just really need to be more patient like they have been. They're going to send this to an official video to get more pitches seen. The more you see pitches, you're going to wear them down a little bit more. That means he won't have, he'll have more pitches against each person who comes up. It might wear him out a little bit more, and that might take you deeper into the bullpen too.
And for Cincinnati, coming into this game, the month of April has been historically up and down. 4-2 already after their win yesterday, but in 2024, their best start on April, going 9-6, where they had one of their best seasons of all time, where they fought back an unprojected team in the standings of Big 12 to finish in the mid-table, and already mid-table for them in the middle of the season, looking to make it past and possibly make it in the NCAA regional
As it looks like they did call that a catcher's interference, or not a catcher interference, but interference on the play. Runner safe at second and third.
Brennan Compton up to bat, 0-3 on the day, 298. As Conti delivers this, swing and foul tip back. So that ball's just rolling back to Conti.
He's going to disregard that ball and let it be discarded by Tommy O'Connor, but a chance to get out of the inning here, and once you get down to the bottom of the sixth inning, a way to make contact with Jack Martinez, and who knows if his day is done. Possibility of being replaced is that pitch down low for ball one. Count even at one with 2 outs, 2 runners on, third and second occupied.
Conti continues to look over to that third base, not covered by Cross. Dangerous man in Hairston. As Conti delivers, swing and a miss by Compton. 1-2 count now, 2 outs on the board. Rough start from Conti when he was given the rein at the mound. Attempting to get the Bearcats out of the top of the sixth. 1-2 count now. Conti stares third base. Now stares down Compton as that one's fouled off behind him. 1-2 count. 7-4 is the lead for the Sun Devils. Cincinnati giving up 2 runs. Conti, the right-handed pitcher, takes his stance. Delivers this pitch. High ball is called. 2-2 now. Runners on second and third for the Sun Devils and Hairston and King. Compton, 6 home runs on the season, the redshirt sophomore. 37 RBIs. Has a chance to add 2 here if he can put the ball into play. As McDaniels, the intermediate catcher, calls time to check in on Conti. I believe just trying to assume what pitches that they want to call in the next few. McDaniels walks back now to his position as Conti awaits. 20 seconds up there for the pitch clock. Dips down now. Conti, as Compton awaits, delivers, swings on it, and caught quickly by Carrington Cross to get the Cincinnati Bearcats out of the top of the 6th inning. 7-4 is the lead here at Bearcats home stadium. Stay tuned to Bearcats Sports Radio as we'll be back for the bottom of the 6th. Back to the University of Cincinnati as Cole Carlin checks in for the Sun Devils, making his 16th appearance on the season. 2.12 ERA, so a dominant force from the bullpen from the Sun Devils as he looks to possibly close out this game. 7-4 lead here in the bottom of the 6th inning for the visiting Arizona State as Carlin throws first pitch is high over to Mitchell.
Also doubles as a first baseman and saw 40 and 2/3 innings over 26 games with 2 starts last season as a true freshman.
As that 95-mile-an-hour high fastball. 2-0 count now to Christian Mitchell. 242 on the season, the junior. As strike is called, 2-1 count now. Garland takes his stance, delivers, straight down, check swing, and ball's called. 3-1 count. Bottom of the 6th inning here in beautiful Cincinnati. Sun is shining down on the field. Not many clouds in sight. As Carlin delivers, swings on it as Mitchell's. That one flies high, foul ball into the seats near the media box.
You know, it seems like, listen to me at the bottom of the top of the last inning. Just be patient. Don't really worry about swing on things you don't have to. Watch the balls go low and high.
Carlin delivers, and that one shot deep into right field, and it's a fair ball as, foul's called by the first base umpire, Cody Oakes. As from our angle, and for many of the fans, it looked to be fair.
I think it fell out of play.
And it looks like they're going to review it.
I think it fell out of play just out of our sight line. Is anything that heads deep into right field is blocked off by a wall that separates the spectators from the visiting bullpen.
It just cuts off where the ball dropped. That was about right at the corner of the wall that cuts in, if you haven't seen it. Home plate area kind of goes straight and then cuts in at the corner about maybe 2/3 up the baselines. That's about exactly where this ball dropped.
Looks like the umpires are going to go review this one once again. We've had few reviews in this game. The controversial call from Cincinnati's defense, and now a call that we couldn't make with our angle of the field, but a 3-2 count for Christian Mitchell. Now, I'm not positive if they call it fair. I don't know where he would begin with his base. I would assume that since he was on his way to second, they might award him a double.
I believe they would rule it a ground rule double.
Okay.
But who's to say, is the umpiring crew back in the replay room checking on the final line for Jack Martinez. 5 innings pitched, 3 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned with 1 walk, 10 strikeouts on the day when 22 batters faced. I mean, what an outing for Martinez. It's unfortunate that had to come to an end the way it did.
As the umpires come out, waiting the call. As I believe,
looks like it's going to be called foul.
Foul ball is called.
That's the second and final challenge for Cincinnati as well. Important to keep an eye on.
3-2 count to Mitchell. Fly out into left in the first and struck out in the fourth. As he shoots this one over to the shortstop, and Matt King over to Tobias, and there is the first out on the board for the Bearcats.
I do like that at bit, though. It was not very aggressive. You saw a lot of pitches, and that's going to help everybody else back the line. That means they get to see kind of what you're going to deliver from this this fresh pitcher, Cole Carlin, and it's going to give him a little bit more insight. What do his pitches look like? The music was still playing, sounds like. I'm not sure what they're going to call a timeout there for.
I would assume just a practice pitch. 1 out on the board. 7-4 is the lead here in the bottom of the 6th inning as the visiting Sun Devils have continued to hold on to the lead against the Bearcats. Cole Carlin, the reliever, delivers his next pitch. Swung and foul tip from Cal Sefik, the sophomore. On the season, .324 with 4 home runs and 26 RBIs. As a changeup was thrown at 86 miles an hour.
The thing about the Bearcats is that their best inning scoring-wise is that one thrown to third, on to first in time for the out. Cal Sefik on a 5-3 putout. The Bearcats in the 7th inning outscored their opponents 38-11. This is their big inning of work. It's coming up in 1 out.
Loudon Brooks checks in, the senior for the Bearcats. Cole Carlin stares him down and delivers, as that one's an outside ball. 1-0 count now with 2 outs on the board. Possible 2-out rally for the Bearcats to start bottom of the 6th.
Anything to put more runs on the board for Cincinnati.
Carlin, down low ball. 2-0 now to Brooks. Bearcats have struggled with their at-bats today. 4 runs scored, but most of those have come off of walks and mistakes from the Devils. As 3-0 count now to Brooks off of that 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Garland winds and dines as he delivers. Ball's called, and Brooks able to reach first on a walk.
That's a big 4-pitch walk. Great patience from Loudon Brooks, able to read every pitch and allow himself to take a free base.
And if you're an Arizona State fan, there were a couple of pitches there that they could have gone one way or another, but if you're a UC fan, you love to see the 4-ball walk.
Tommy O'Connor, the first baseman, had an error in yesterday's game. Today feels like to be the only infielder who can keep his glove on the ball. Awaits the first pitch. Strike is called. 0-1 count with 2 outs on the board. And Brooks on first.
He's been fairly active in terms of hitting. He had a couple of doubles yesterday, added 1 today. Could be key to the Bearcats making a comeback here.
Left-handed pitcher in Carlin. Ball's called. 1-1 count now. 2 outs on the board. Bearcats here in the bottom of the 6th inning, attempting to make something happen with only 3 hits to the 10 of the Sun Devils. Swing and a miss. Off the bat of O'Connor into the glove of Cormick.
The thing about the Bearcats is they are still well in this game. They are being out hit by 7, but still only 3 runs down. That just proves that it's pick off attempt the first not in time, as I'm fumbling over my words here, but the Bearcats have a way of working the small ball in such a way that it doesn't matter how many hits they really have, because they find ways to bring runs in. A lot of it's through patience.
Connor awaits the next pitch and a low ball. 2-2 count. 2's on the board.
I think some of that comes down to Kalen O'Connor and his success that he's had on the mound. He did give up a couple of hits in the first inning, and with a couple of errors, gave up some other runs, but absolutely consistent throughout the middle half of the game.
Carlin delivers. Check swing, and it's called strike. Is that strike 3? Cincinnati not able to muster up much here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 7-4 is the lead for the Sun Devils here in the University of Cincinnati baseball field. Stay tuned with Bearcat Sports Radio as we'll be back for the top of the 7th inning.
New pitcher for Cincinnati here, top of the 7th inning, Joe Pinheiro. Steps in, right-hander. Transfer from FIU, was worming in the pin. A little bit ago, a fan just got kicked out of the stadium. First base umpire was pointing at him. Bill McGuire pointed him out. He's now getting a police escort out of UC Baseball Stadium. Not sure the commotion's being made as that one lined deep into center. Donovan Ford has a beat. Makes the catch for out number 1. Makes quick work. The leadoff man, Contreras. We're 1 down here, top of the 7th inning. Brings up Isaiah Jackson. Joe Pinheiro on his career, an ERA of 7.15 and 89 in the 3rd innings pitched. This season, 24 in the 3rd innings pitched, allowing 29 hits, 18 runs, 17 of them earned. First pitch bounces way past McDaniels and bounced off the foot of Isaiah Jackson. He's going to make his way to first base. Free base after being plunked. So quickly, one gets out on a fly out and the other gets hit and sent to first base.
I was confused. Did that ball hit him?
It hit him in the foot.
Okay. It looked like it was a total opposite, kind of way behind him.
Yeah, I thought it hit off the plate.
Yeah.
First pitch from Pinheiro to Kian Vu. He's 2 for 2 on the day. He had left a mark yesterday on the baseball. Handful of RBIs, handful of hits. Pickoff attempt not in time to Isaiah Walker at first base. So Bearcats now trail 7-4. Gave up 2 runs in the top of the 6th inning. Couldn't get anything back in the bottom. Pinheiro's pitch. Outside the zone, goes ball 2. 2-0 is the count with 1 out, 1 runner on. It's Isaiah Jackson, excuse me. Standing at first base after getting plunked. Pinheiro winds, fires. As that one popped high in the air, straight back, moving towards left field. Carrington Cross and Christian Mitchell have a beat on it. Mitchell makes the catch right in front of the Cincinnati bullpen for out number 2.
It's hard to track those balls with the sun shining right down on the field. Cincinnati, lucky that they have their glasses on and being able to track the balls, but we've seen consistent times where Donovan Ford had a chance to have a fly out earlier, and I believe the top of the 4th, and not able to track the ball well. But if you're Mitchell, you had an easy way. It was hard because you have that fence right there, and you have to be able to judge how much power do I need to put in my legs to get to that ball.
Catcher Josiah Cromwick now to the plate. He's 0 for 1. Pickoff attempt to first, not in time. Jackson had a couple of steps off the bag. Hit by pitch. Had a sacrifice fly in the 4th and flew out in the 6th. Did Cromwick. It's Pinheiro's first pitch right down the middle for strike 1.
Yeah, interesting about that wall. They're just solid brick walls. So when you run into it, it's a dangerous game. You want to make sure you make the play, but you don't want to just jam yourself into a corner there.
Pickoff attempt not in time, back to first base. I can't imagine it feels good to run to a brick wall.
Oh, no, I can't imagine that either.
Sometimes I feel like running through one, but doesn't mean I will. No shift in the infield for Cincinnati. Pickoff attempts once again. It's about the 4th this inning for Pinheiro. It's a keen eye on Jackson. He does it again. Still not in time. Tommy O'Connor getting his fair share. Keeping him on his toes. Pinheiro favoring the third base side of the rubber. Looks back home. Takes a look at his glove. Hand in. Fires the first. Not in time.
So here's the question for you. Would you rather run into that brick wall or the outfield wall of Wrigley Field?
Is neither an option.
No?
No.
Darn. Probably Wrigley. Pitch on the way.
I don't
Outside, ball 1.
know. That ivy at Wrigley, I've heard it hurts.
Oh, I'm
So
sure
I
it
don't
does,
know.
but
I don't know.
I feel like the ivy's a little bit more of a cushion, though,
You know, that might.
as
well, I don't
opposed to
know.
the brick
I don't
wall
know.
that is not a cushion and more solid
That's
than
true.
anything else.
That is true. Although there is a brick wall behind the Wrigley Field wall.
Well, the ivy is a little bit of cushion as that
True.
pitch
Yeah, maybe.
up high for ball 2. 2-1 goes to count with 2 outs, 1 runner on. Jackson at first base. Wrigley's a stop of mine. He'll be heading to Chicago in August.
Ooh, there you go. Here we go. Speaking of Chicago, former Bearcat Ian Happ.
It's been, having a
Good guy.
fantastic career so
Good
far.
guy.
Pinero's pitch up high, ball 3. Now down in the count goes Pinero. 1 strike, 2 outs.
I've actually got Ian Happ on my fantasy baseball team.
There you go.
There you go.
I'm sure that's
Little Bearcat love.
proven well for you.
He's pretty good. I'm a fan.
Pinero ready, winds, deals. That pitch finds his own, strike 2, count runs full. Trying to salvage this at-bat. Was up in the count, had about 7 pickoff attempts to first base. Isaiah Jackson way off the bag. Will take off here with this pitch. On the way, driven up high in the air, drifting towards right center field. Donovan Ford lets it 1 hop, and it's going to be caught. Runners will advance to the corners. 2 outs still for Arizona State, but that's the 11th hit of the ball game for the Sun Devils, and Kyle Walker coming up.
Yeah, it looked like you just had everybody running over that direction and not really sure who was going to call it, and at the last minute bounced and went to Ford there. So
Kyle Walker, the redshirt junior, 2 for 4 on the day. It's had something to do with the scoring the Sun Devils have had today. Pinero just trying to get out of the inning. Has done a good piece of work so far. No runs scored just yet. Pitch on the way. Runner takes off. Throw to second. Will it be in time? Throw this back home. Tag is applied, and he's called out at home plate. A great look from Loudon Brooks to send it back home. Great awareness from the Bearcat defense. And Joel Pinero gets out of the inning. Cincinnati trails by 3, 7-4 as we head to the bottom of the 7th. Time to stretch here in the Queen City. We'll be right here, back here on Bearcat Sports Radio in just a moment. Jumbotron appearance for the radio crew here at UC Baseball Stadium. Casey Stevens, Eric Gonzalez, Ethan Herzog here with you. Bottom of the 7th inning, it's starting to get crunch time here for the Bearcats. Charlie Niehaus up to bat leadoff for Cincinnati. Looking to come back down 3 runs. First pitch taken for strike 1. Cole Carlin still on the mound for Arizona State. The strikeout, a walk in 1 innings pitched last time out, and that's back-to-back strikes thrown to Charlie Niehaus here, the leadoff man for Cincinnati.
And the pitching's been dangerous for the Sun Devils, with Martinez coming out of the game with 10 strikeouts, and now Carlin coming in and adding one of his own in that last inning.
Pitch goes way outside, ball 1. Count runs 1 and 2. Charlie Niehaus, who is a sneakily good hitter. That pitch rings him up, strike 3. So quickly 1 away for Carlin, and that brings up Carrington Cross. Been quiet this series. He's 1 for 2.
Carrington Cross.
Had a couple of hits last night. Was able to aid the Bearcats in their comeback efforts. Trying to do the same here. Any spark will do for the Bearcats offensively. Pitch way high, ball 1. Donovan Ford on deck. He's 0 for 2. He's been hit by a pitch a couple of times. Second pitch finds the zone, strike 1. 1's across the board for the Bearcats. Running out of time. Bottom of the 7th, trailing by 3. On the way, check swing, doesn't matter, strike 2.
Got him with 2 off-speed pitches to start this at-bat, and then able to just throw a heater, 94 miles an hour, top of the zone to get the second strike.
No shift for Cross as he swings and misses, ring him up, strike 3. Quickly 2 outs for the Bearcats.
The center fielder, number
Carlin
4.
going to that low ball for the strikeout. Same thing that Jack Martinez was doing earlier on. A lot of Bearcats swinging at that low pitch.
Now here comes Donovan Ford. He's had plenty of speed provided on the base paths today. 2 outs. 2-out rally would be great for Cincinnati, but with the way that Cole Carlin's throwing, another strike. He's been throwing at a high velocity and dotting the strike zone with ease. On the way, that one popped high in the air, going towards left center and makes the catch. And a light jog is Isaiah Jackson. Bearcats go down in 3 as we head to the top of the 8th inning. Trailing by 3, 7-4. Arizona State trying to hold on to the lead here on Bearcat Sports Radio.
And now we're at the top of the 8th inning with Joe Perino pitching to Kyle Walker, number 7. 2 hits on the day. Perino delivers. That ball coming right over top of our heads into the stands. Drops just, I think, outside of the concourse. I couldn't exactly see where that one was. That was a little scary. My head was covered. Perino looking for the pitch here. Likes what he's got, it appears. gets set for the 0-1 pitch. That's going to be fouled right back over top of everybody. Count is now 0-2.
Walker on the day, a single in the first, and then Arizona able to get to the top of the order in the second and the fourth, and also here in the sixth. He had a double in the sixth, so 2 hits on for his 4 plate appearances.
Delivers now the 0-2 pitch. That's going to go low for ball 1. Joel trying to keep this game close. 7-4 is the score. Still 3 points. The Bearcats have come back within 1. Now jumped back up to 3-run lead for Arizona State. Delivers the 1-2 pitch. That's going to be ball 2 to the dismay of the fans.
Pitch ends up way outside, fortunately for Pinheiro. And that's kind of been the catalyst all day for Cincinnati, just been the pitching.
2-2 pitch now. Going to be just a bit outside for ball 3.
Right about the same spot as well on that last pitch.
Showing his off speed and his fastball, as the pitch prior was 78, jumping up to 91.
3-2 pitch. Strike number 3. That's going to be out number 1.
That's a big swinging strike as well. Kyle Walker liked what he saw, just zipped right by him.
The left fielder, number 51, Landon Hairston.
Hairston now up to bat, 2 for 2. Batting .340 on the year. Today, 4 at-bats, 2 hits, 2 runs, 1 RBI. Shows bunt, pulls back, strike 1. One strike, 1 out. Here, ball in the glove. Gets set, delivers. Shows bunt up the left side. That's going to be strike number 2. As a foul ball rolls. Just a little bit of a dribble, kind of runs about halfway up the Bearcats bench.
It's a well-placed bunt, just angled a little off.
Yeah. Definitely would have been right in the spot where nobody was covering. Third base playing a little bit over to the second base side. Shortstop playing second. The shift heavy now with second base playing a shortstop-ish position between first and second, and the first baseman playing about maybe 30 feet or 15 feet back. It's not 15 feet. Playing a ways back as that ball now 2-2 goes straight back to the catcher to the backstop. Real low.
Tell you what I think these pitchers need. It's a pretzel.
I agree.
So do I.
Get some sodium in your system.
If you could pick your favorite ballpark food, what would it be?
Oh, now you're asking the deep questions.
Oh,
yeah.
What are you talking about, man?
That ball hit right back up to the pitcher. Pitcher shuffles it to first base for the out. That is the second out on the 2-2 pitch.
Great angle of pursuit there by Pinheiro, able to make his way over. Sound like I'm analyzing a linebacker pursuing the tackle, but I mean, he still followed the dribbling ball, was able to corral it, make the flip over to first base in time. Out number 2. Chance to get Cincinnati back into an offensive state.
Yeah, I think I got for the favorite food, I got to go for either chicken tenders or a pretzel. We kind of talked about that a little bit earlier. First pitch now to Matt King.
Man, I couldn't even tell you what my favorite ballpark snack is.
I feel like it comes down to, like, you get your burger with your fries, maybe a pizza.
Okay, we're talking snack or meal?
There you go. Okay. Hey.
I said favorite food overall.
Okay, fair.
That ball hit into left field to the left fielder. Oh, and it just bounces over his head into the back wall. He goes to pitch it. No, Matt runs around second base, going to stay at second base as it's brought into the infield.
Matt King's doing Matt King things, and that was a well-timed dive as well by Christian Mitchell out in the left. Just unfortunately bounced right off the edge of his glove.
Yeah, couldn't quite make it.
Would have been an astounding grab if he had done it.
Matt King, have yourself a day. 4 hits. 2 doubles, 2 singles. He's pretty much leading the Sun Devils team with their 3-run lead. 7-4 here in the top of the 8th inning with 2 outs on the board.
Tobias now up to bat. Perino staring down Matt King. Delivers the first pitch for ball 1, high outside.
He's a dangerous hitter to have up in this situation. He's a clutch hitter. He's quick on the base paths and has a lot of power.
Delivers 1-0 pitch. Strike number 1 called on a swing and a miss.
The best way to beat power is to just zip it right by him. Pinero's got high velocity in his back pocket, averaging upper 90s.
Tobias sitting right at the back of the box. Swaggling his bat. Strike number 2 on an 89-mile-an-hour pitch.
Showed the changeup earlier and then came out with his 2-seam fastball there to just get a second strike at this at-bat. 1-2 count now with a runner on second.
That ball low, ball number 2. 2-2 count, 2 outs, 1 runner on second base. Matt King, Tobias up to bat.
Favorite Tobias on the season, the first baseman, stands tall. He's protecting that tall guy. Hits left-handed.
Delivers. That ball low. 3-2 count now.
Tobias able to work his way back up in the count. First base isn't occupied, so won't advance anybody, but Matt King might take off for third with this pitch.
That's strike number 3, and that's going to bring us to the end of the top of the 8th. Not the end of the inning, though. We're going to be right back with more on the Bearcats Radio Network. And now welcome back to the Cincinnati Baseball Stadium at the bottom of the 8th. Landon Vitterick going to lead us off. 2 at-bats, 0 hits. 2 strikeouts, though.
Unrelated, I think I got sunburn on my hand.
Oh, my.
Sorry.
It hasn't been all that sunny, I'm surprised, honestly. But hey,
The UV index was 4.
oh, well,
I was looking midway through the game.
Ah, right. What do you know?
Well, all right.
That ball going to be in there for ball number 1.
The more you notice, I guess.
Ah, sorry, ball 1, strike 1. The temperature's dropped a little bit here, so that ball hit right up the middle to the shortstop. Shortstop delivers to the first baseman for out number 1 in time. It's getting a little chilly here. Gotta throw the jacket on.
Yeah, I'm about to do the same here.
You had to throw the jacket on. It was getting to me.
Yeah. Up next, McDaniels up to bat.
Daniels, number 5. Dawson Oka.
Oh, no, sorry. I was correcting. It's Dawson Hosa. Up to bat now. First pitch in there from Cole Carlson. Carlson. Who's that? I don't know. Cole Carlin. Cole Carlin with a first pitch strike.
Dawson Hookup, an Edmond, Oklahoma native, and transfer from Lindenwood. Plays both first base and catcher. Has made a couple of appearances this season, 19 in total.
250 average.
Not sure well the jeering's going on about.
Someone's excited. Here's the pitch. Fouled back. 1-2 count. One out.
A lot of power behind that swing from Hoka. He's looking to swing for the fences there. If he got the barrel on the ball, that one's gone.
Hey, you know what? We need it. Anything we can get. Hokoff takes his stance right at the back corner of the box. That ball low inside the zone for strike number 3.
What a call. That ball.
Hey, that was a questionable throw there, but, if that's what the umpire says, that's what the umpire's going to give us. Strike number 3 called.
It's just been a struggle for these Bearcat hitters. It's just not their day. The pitch in the dirt. Ball 1, appeal to first, says no on the swing, Christian Mitchell. But it's just been tough sledding. Pick the right starter and pick the right relief.
That ball hit over to the shortstop. Shortstop delivers. Almost on a bounce to the first baseman. That one was in time. Unfortunately, Mitchell will not make it. That's going to be out number 3. This has been your Bearcats Radio Network as we move to the top of the 9th.
Welcome back to the University of Cincinnati, home of the Cincinnati Bearcats here. Top of the 9th inning, 7-4 is the lead by the Arizona State Sun Devils as Christian Mitchell, the left fielder, into pitch. Two-way players. First pitch is in for a strike. 0-1 count to Brandon Compton, 0-4 on the day.
This is usually the place that you saw Christian Mitchell as well. He was usually a closer. His second pitch skied up in the air.
So that one's over into left field as an easy glove on it for Sefik.
That one scared me. I couldn't see where that one went.
I thought it was in right.
Yeah.
I was looking up. I'm like, where'd it
man.
go?
I was expecting to get clonked on the head with that.
That's a good.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a good spot to be in for Cincinnati because Christian Mitchell is known for putting balls in play, but in such a manner that they're easy outs. Typically fly outs, ground out into the infield, throw to first in time, that sort of thing. So see a lot of that coming from Christian Mitchell. Is that one fouled off into the Bearcat dugout?
No. Up for the Sun Devils. 0-4 on the day, reached second off of a walk as he shoots this one over to Niehaus, the shortstop over to O'Connor. And 2 outs on the board as Christian Mitchell able to shut him out early, but Isaiah Jackson, the junior, hitting .284 on the season, steps up, hit by pitch in his last at-bat.
And that's what I'm talking about when it comes to Christian Mitchell and his pitching style. He's going to pitch for the ground out. He's going to send it 6-3 put out. That's frequently what you see on the scorecard.
Delivers this one. Outside ball is called. 1-0 count.
He's also got pretty looking pitches. He's got a decent velocity. He's able to dot the strike zone. A couple of strikeouts on the season so far. He's got 3.
Slow down pitch from 93 to 74.
He's got versatility at that too.
2-0 count now with 2 outs on the board. Top of the 9th is another outside ball. 75. Mitchell lines up with 2 outs. Delivers. An outside ball is called. Inside ball. After a good start for him with 1 fly out and then a ground out. Walks the next batter to put in Vu on the day, 2 for 3.
The right fielder, number 11.
Not the one that you want to put up when you're down 3 with a runner on. Kean Vu is one to find some insurance.
Pickoff attempt. Over to Jackson at first. Vu on the day, 2 singles, 1 in the second and 1 in the fourth. Mitchell, 2 outs on the board. Delivers as ball's called. 1-0 count now with 2 outs on the board. 7-4 here in the top of the 9th. Visiting Arizona State Sun Devils here on this 3-game series. Lost last night with Cincinnati coming back with 8 runs in 2 innings. Cincinnati down 3. Christian Mitchell delivers. Strike is called. 1-1 count with 2 outs.
I noticed this yesterday about Kean Vu and his batting stance. He holds it straight back, almost like a back scratcher in his stance. Pick off to first, not in time. But it's something I've never seen before. It's very unique, and he gets good contact off of it too, is the more important thing.
Vu awaits the pitch from Mitchell. Delivers. Swing and a miss. As 1-2 count now with 2 outs on the board. Runner on first and Jackson for the Sun Devils. Christian Mitchell, the closer for the Bearcats. Vu awaits. Delivers. High ball is called. 2-2 count. 2 outs on the board. .352 is Vu on the season with 6 home runs, 21 RBIs. As in the dirt is the ball.
Yeah, everybody will stay put there as catcher's able to keep that ball in front of him, not let the first base move up.
Jackson held at first. Infield takes a shift here over to the right as Niehaus stands behind second. Typical Shortstop swing and a miss there as Vu goes down swinging. Cincinnati ends the bottom of the ninth with a 3-inning scoreless run by the Sun Devils to bring up the bottom of the ninth here. 7-4 is the lead. Stay tuned with Bearcats Sports Radio as we'll be back for the bottom of the ninth inning. Welcome back to the University of Cincinnati, home of the Cincinnati Bearcats, hosting the Arizona State Sun Devils. 7-4 here in the bottom of the ninth inning. Cincinnati fighting for a comeback. Up to bat, Cal Sefik awaits the first pitch. High ball's called. 1-0 count.
It's been Cole Carlin on the mound for the past couple of innings for Arizona State, and he's made quick work and very good work at that.
Carlin delivers and a nice hit by Sefik off of that third base as he rounds and gets a double here for the Cincinnati Cardiac Cats as they attempt to make this comeback. The fans that are still here on their feet cheering for their Bearcats.
I just want to point out on that last break, I said you can guarantee Tommy O'Connor is going to get a home run this inning.
Oh, jeez.
I just want to put that out there so when it happens, that I can say that I called it before.
You ever heard of the announcer's jinx?
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
It's not going to come into play today.
You know.
Cal Sefik able to reach on a double. Lawton Brooks on the day 0 for 2, attempting to bring in the run to make this a 2-run game. First pitch is down strike, 0-1 count to Brooks. Cincinnati known for their iconic comebacks this season. Carlin delivers, swung on, and a foul tip to the Cincinnati dugout. 0-2 count now to Brooks. No outs on the board. Sefik on second for the Bearcats. Carlin stares down. Possible out one, and a swing and a miss by Brooks as he's going to the dugout. First out on the board for the Sun Devils. Cincinnati's possible comeback coming to a close. 2 outs left for the Bearcats.
That was just a great pitch. Waved it right by Loudon Brooks, who's just been struggling all season long. Tommy O'Connor, he's had his clutch moments. See what the first baseman can come up with here.
O'Connor 1 for 3 on the day, awaits. High ball. 1-0 count now with 1 out on the board. Bottom of the ninth inning here in Cincinnati. The visiting Arizona State Sun Devils on the road, 5-6. Not the best record against the 12-2 at-home Cincinnati Bearcats. As O'Connor swung on a miss. 1-1 count now from Carlin. Cole Carlin came in bottom of the 7th inning. Bottom of the 6th inning. Scoreless. He's held the Bearcats. Looking to do it again. Pitch is outside. 2-1 count now to O'Connor. The fans here need to bring the energy for the Bearcats. Carlin stares down O'Connor. Count on O'Connor's side. 2-1 count. O'Carlin delivers. Swung on and foul tip over to the Bearcats dugout.
Here's the thing about Tommy O'Connor. He's also a very patient hitter, and he's been able to work walks out of nothing, and he's obviously even at 2 now, but he has a good eye.
Tommy O'Connor takes his stance, awaits the pitch. Outside ball, not called, strike 3, and O'Connor walks to the dugout. 2 outs on the board. 1 out left for the Bearcats to possibly make a comeback and claw their way back against the Sun Devils.
Carrington Cross on deck should the inning continue, and Charlie Niehaus, he's got a clutch gene. He's had a couple of big hits through his short career. Big grand slam against Miami for his first career home run.
Carlin delivers, bunt attempted. As Niehaus tries to reach first, and the out is called as the Sun Devils get a win here on the road against the Cincinnati Bearcats. 7-4 for the Sun Devils as this series is tied 1-1 in the regular season. Cincinnati plays at 6 p.m. tomorrow against the Sun Devils in their home field.
Cincinnati had plenty of chances to come back, and you look at the scoreboard and it comes down 2 errors, 12 hits, and that combination isn't always going to go your way and almost is never going to go your way. But still 1 more game to go here for Cincinnati. Chance to still steal away a series win against Arizona State, one of the hot teams in the Big 12, and have to see what happens tomorrow.
Yeah, and it looked really like it was what we talked about earlier, is that the errors are going to kill you. That's where they got their bases, and they never scored a home run. So really it came down to those, the hit by pitch, the 2 errors that gave them those points, and that was just what killed the Cats' momentum, and not being able to make contact. So hopefully with tomorrow's game they look to come back, but like we said, today is unfortunately a 7-4 loss.
And for Cincinnati, a loss added to their record on the season after 35 wins last year, 20-12, as the Cincinnati Bearcats will take a short break and look to come back against the Sun Devils tomorrow before they go on the road and look to finish off their season. I've been Casey Stevens with Eric Gonzalez and Ethan Herzog. Stay tuned here with Bearcat Sports Radio.